Boar's Head is bringing a slice of Japan to the deli. Introducing Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. Tender, slow-roasted chicken breast, coated in our signature teriyaki glaze, where ginger, garlic, and a hint of brown sugar meet for a flavor that's both sweet and savory. New Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. The bold flavor of Japan. Now at the deli. Only from Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.
Blog Talk Radio.
Here we go. Blast off.
This is True Capitalist Radio. True Capitalist Radio.
I am your host, the man they call Ghost.
The badass of business.
Give him capitalism or give him death.
That's it. Period.
Broadcasting from his Skyline office studios in beautiful downtown Austin, Texas.
You sound fruitier than a box of Fruit Loops, for Christ's sake.
And now, he'll take it from here. Your host, the prognosticator of prognosticators, the man they call
Ghost.
What's going on, folks? And thank you for tuning in with me for another edition of True Capitalist Radio. Once again, folks, I am your host, the man they call Ghost, and I can't say it anymore. Thanks a lot for tuning in. This is episode number 67 for all the folks that are keeping track with the broadcast. Of course, it's tax day, like we all can forget, right? It's the last day to turn in your taxes for all the folks that are procrastinators when it comes to that sort of thing. So remember, we're on black people time when it comes. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. It's a joke. Oh, it's a joke. I'm just kidding, because April 15th is our traditional tax day. It's 18th, so on and so forth. But anyway, today is the last day. Hopefully everybody put that in. Everybody's going to be okay. And if you don't have it, well, you better file an extension. If you look on the agenda, folks, we got a lot of things to talk about. But before we get into that, I would like for everyone who's listening to me live, please retweet the broadcast. blogtalkradio.com/ghost. Retweet it, put it on the social networking sites, spread it around like wildfire. I don't mean to be kidding around about wildfire. We almost got hit up out here in Austin, Texas. The city got almost engulfed in flames out here. It's been disgusting, but we'll talk about that later. First of all, I want to say what's up to everybody in the room already. What's up, future DNB, Goku? What's going on, Goku? Hopefully tomorrow he gets hired out there in the mass McDonald's hiring. Tupac Shakur in the house, and I think that's Vince. I don't know if it is or not. We got a whole bunch of guests. Please retweet the broadcast. Let everybody know that we are in effect and in the house. And let's go ahead and get to the market, shall we? It was a retraction, folks. It's what we've been discussing throughout the existence since the beginning of the year, since day one of True Capitalist Radio. Episode number 1, we've been talking about an economic retraction, a market retraction coming in the springtime. And we're seeing it. We're going to continue to see it. And the reason is, folks, is because I saw this a long time ago. Commodities were rising back in the episodes of 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. And I anticipated that we were going to see a retraction in the markets. There's no way that we could sustain this type of growth with these types of obvious indicators of inflation, which is high energy cost, paying price at the pump, high commodities costs, and if you don't believe me that commodities have gone up, I don't know, maybe you don't go to the supermarket, maybe you don't go out there and shop for your own damn groceries, but maybe you need to go over that receipt and take a look at how much you're spending nowadays. Everything, and I do mean everything is going up the roof, and, it's starting to wear itself on the Dow, it's starting to wear itself on the market, not to mention, folks, that the S&P, which is the Standard & Poor's, which is much like Moody's. It's a credit rating company that rates the credit of a variety of different things. one of which countries, and we've actually discussed Moody's downgradings of certain countries in Europe that ended up, spiraling their bond markets and their stock markets down the tubes based upon these ratings. Well, S&P today downgraded America's rating to a negative. And this came out literally as the market began. As the market began, S&P put out a negative rating for the debt of the United States. And the reason that they said that they put this out was because they honestly believe that the Congress, the political situation in Washington, may not be able to be resolved so that there may be an actual debt-raising limit. And we've talked about this a lot on this program about if America defaults on its debts, it makes us look like complete and utter imbeciles. Remember, we're supposed to be the dominant economic force in the international community. And for us to default on our debts makes us look like we have faltered, makes us look like we have truly fallen. It is the official stamp of crippled America, in my personal opinion. But at the same time, we cannot continue to spend this type of ridiculous entitlement garbage. And this goes to the PO in America, this goes to corporate welfare, this goes to all the bureaucratic systems of our government. We cannot continue to sustain these types of spending levels, but at the same time, we have to continue to raise our debts. I mean, it's a tricky situation that we're in, and unfortunately, the American people don't really understand the complexity, or they actually understand the complexity, they just can't comprehend it, for that matter, of the situation at hand with this little debt ceiling garbage. And at the same time, they don't understand how we need to cut this damn deficit. It's devaluing the spending power of the American dollar, folks. And if you don't believe me, you should research it for yourself. You're on the internet, for Christ's sake. What are you doing besides play with your Peter Popper on here? I mean, it's devaluing the American dollar. The more the government spends, the more the government continuously pumps out all these ridiculous entitlement programs. And it doesn't matter for what it is. It doesn't matter if it's government cheese for the PO in America or these corporate welfare bailouts that were given to Goldman Sachs, that were given to GE, that were given to GM, these quasi-merging of public and private enterprise that we, as the American people, just allowed happen in our names. I disagree with all this, but at the same time, if the American people are obliging this by voting in these autocrats that are basically perpetuating this merging of public and private enterprise, the only way of stopping this is to somehow, educate the public, which I think that's pretty much gone out the window. The American public are a bunch of morons. If it isn't Dancing with the Stars or some, tits and ass, exposing themselves in scantily clad garb, they don't give two rats' asses about it. But in my personal opinion, the capitalists, and this is why I continue to advocate that the capitalists have to separate themselves from these damn masses that are doing nothing else out here but making excuses, trying to drain the emotion out of those that are actually continuing on amidst whatever obstacles that are in the way. That's what capitalists do. We don't just sit back and just say, oh, man, I don't know what's going to happen to me. I don't know if I'm going to stick back and I'm going to wax my carrot and then I don't know what I'm going to do. Why don't you get up off your fat ass and start doing something? Start thinking, for Christ's sake. Do you understand? That's the whole process of capitalism, is for you to evolve your thinking, for you to observe and be able to act so that you can survive and maybe even go beyond survival, maybe beyond sustenance. But unfortunately, I didn't mean to get on that tirade. Let's just go over the markets here real quick. Dow Jones Industrials are down today because of the S&P downgrade, not to mention that Citigroup came out with horrible earnings, and all this just kind of weighed down on the market. A lot of investors became helter-skelter, and you saw a sell-off. So today, Dow Jones Industrials closes out at 12,201.60. It was down today 140.24 points a percentage decrease of 1.14% today. You know, I mean, that's not peanuts, to say the least, all right? I mean, I wasn't too happy with it myself, but once again, it's a helter-skelter market out here. A lot of people doing impulsive buying, impulsive selling, and basically your stock, if you have a holding, it's going to jump dramatically based on news, based on earnings. So if you're holding a position that seems to be getting beat up by this, helter-skelter market, once again, I urge you to look to the three keys to stock success, according to Ghost from True Capitalist Radio. You have to make sure that the equities that are in your portfolio have good fundamentals, which of course means low PE ratios, which means low debt-to-income ratios, good cash flow, a decent balance sheet, a good news coming out for potential growth, that sort of thing. Secondly, it has to have demand. You have to see demand, not just in the short term, but at least see demand within the next 2 to 3 years. All right, if your equity has good fundamentals, good demand, well, what's the third? Well, it's got to have profits. That's right. I'm telling you, investors love profits. Whenever some earnings of some stock comes out, and it's even slightly a bit better, oh, Jesus Christ, these investors on it like flies to dirty dog dump. I mean, I kid you not, for Christ's sake. And this is why I'm telling you, folks, this is a helter-skelter market, but if you are holding positions right now that are not looking too favorably because these damn people are trying to liquidate, remember, people are having to sell off. That's why we're not seeing as usual volume as we're used to seeing during a full market. I mean, this bull market that we've seen, these continuous plus sides in the market has been based on low volume. I'm talking about record low volume. And a lot of these people, I mean, I'm seeing it as I'm looking at these charts. Every chart I look at, I'm seeing people selling off. They're liquidating their positions. And I'm assuming that it's because you've got the height of commodities. I mean, the height in commodities, the height in energy costs. I mean, that's going to take a pinch out of anybody's wallet. Doesn't matter how much money you're making, folks, and we're seeing it, and this is the economic retraction that we had been talking about throughout the whole time of this broadcast. But anyway, let's go on. The S&P 500 closed out today at 1,305.14, a decrease today of 14.54 points, a percentage decrease of 1.10%. NASDAQ closed out today at 2,735.38, a decrease of 29.27 points, a percentage decrease of 1.06%. .06%. 1.06%, for heaven's sake. Can you believe this crap? I mean, everything on the markets was down over 1%. I mean, this is just, if you can't, if there's anybody that can say that this is an economic contraction, I mean, give me a break. Anybody that's trying to debate, anybody that's trying to debate that this isn't, you're an imbecile. And, there's a lot of people that are making monetary policy. There's a lot of people that are setting policy in the Washington right now that are just not understanding what's going on in this economic situation. Anyway, let me just move on, shall we? Let's move on to commodities now. Now we're starting to see a little bit of consistency. You would think you saw a big dip in equities. Are there any commodities that spiked? Well, you know it. Yeah. Yeah, you know it. And if you're diversified, even if you did take a dip in the equities markets, you've got a diversification in gold, in silver, and everything else. If you would have been listening to the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, you would have been, accumulating gold and silver ever since, episode 1. And if you would have, you'd be seriously gaining at this point in time. But before we go into that, let's go ahead and go into the energies, commodities, because at least they're going down. You know what I mean? That's somewhat of a good sign. Brent crude futures are down today $1.63. They close out today at $121.82 per barrel of Brent crude oil. And, of course, Brent crude is the oil that's shipped out to Asia and Europe for all the individuals that, are trying to get their oils confused. That's Asia and Europe's oil. Gasoline futures are down today, $12.25, a decrease of 1.19%. Heating oil futures are down today, $3.57, a percentage decrease of 1.11%. Natural gas futures are down 5 cents, a percentage decrease of 1.40%. And WTI sweet crude, the crude oil that we should always be having our eyes on. It dictates whether or not we're going to go into a double-dip recession, which I think that we're on the tipping point of now at this point, but I'm not going to put my name on the line for it, but we're starting to see indicators of a potential double-dip recession. But at the same time, if we can get this damn WTI sweet crude down before the summer, if we can get it down to about $99, $98, hovering around those $90 range, we could possibly pull through. I know that it seems too simple to be true, but believe it or not, you cannot believe how integral WTI sweet crude oil is to our economy, not just based upon the gas prices at the gas pumps, but it takes this type of energy to run the machines of the means of production. It takes this fuel to ship out the products that are made at the manufacturers to the actual retailers. I mean, there's just so much fuel that basically makes the volts of the machinery of this economy, the actual production end of this economy, is reliant on this energy here. And whenever you see this up over $100 and something dollars, today it is $107.47 per WTI sweet crude barrel of oil. But at the same time, we were reaching, $112, $113 a barrel a week or two ago. I mean, we need to come down from these types of prices so that our economy can be able to somehow rebound from, this potential rebound that the government and the Federal Reserve seem to be bloviating so much. I mean, we need this damn cost to come down. It was down today, $2.19, a percentage decrease of 2%. Hopefully this is a good sign. Hopefully it's a continuous sign to come that sweet crude oil will come down. I'm hoping, but who the hell knows? Anyway, agricultural futures, canola futures are up today, $8.10. They increased percentage-wise 1.41% for canola futures. Cocoa futures are down, dramatically down. We saw increases, at least all of last week and maybe into a couple of days into the week previous to that. But they are majorly down today. They are down $100, a percentage decrease of 3.17%. So serious decreases in the cocoa futures. Coffee futures also decreasing dramatically. They are down $3.70 for coffee futures, a percentage decrease of 1.27%. Corn is up. All right, of course, something had to be up in these commodities. It was going to be food. This is why we keep seeing these goddamn high prices at the supermarkets, folks. I'm telling you this right now, and we're not going to stop seeing it because, unfortunately, this is just the way it is. It's just, it's something that we're going to have to deal with, and us as capitalists, we're going to have to just step our games up. We're going to have to make sure that every red cent that we accumulate, whether it's through labor, whether it's through business transactions, whether it's through stock trades, we have to be able to take the profits from that, take a little bit for ourselves so that we can be able to, R&R, so to speak, but at the same time parlay the majority of that and flip it and try to get more. Because that's the only way you're going to stay ahead of not only this American economy, but the global economy in general. And this is not a joke. All right, commodities are rising globally. This is not just something limited to America. I mean, this is why you're seeing a lot of international unrest at this point in time. But we'll get to that later. But corn futures are up today, $10, a percentage increase of 1.33%. Cotton futures are up once again. They're up 76 cents, a percentage increase of 0.43%. Wheat futures, another commodity that we all like to eat, of course it has to be up. It's increased $30.50, a percentage increase of 3.48%. Sugar, okay, great, that's down. Oh, yeah, great, we got some sugar down. Yeah, let me go ahead and get into a diabetic coma here. Anyway, sugar is down 18 cents, a percentage decrease of 0.78%. Soybean futures are up. Soybean futures are up 12.50, a percentage increase of 0.93%. Lumber futures are down once again. We saw a small spike, last Friday, seeing a dramatic decrease today. Negative numbers coming out of the real estate market. Once again, another dip downward for lumber. They're down $4.50, a percentage decrease of 1.63%. Oat futures, old Royal Oats. Oat futures are up $4.50, an increase of 1.15%. Are you getting this trend that everything that's edible is starting to go up the tailpipe? I mean, this is just not a good sign. Not a good sign whatsoever, and I really don't appreciate it. I really don't like it. Really don't like it whatsoever. But, hey, what you gonna do, man? You get on that government cheese? Hell no, I'm not getting on no damn government cheese, boy. Anyway, let's continue on, shall we? Soybean oil futures are up 56 cents, and wool futures are up $4, a percentage increase of 0.31%. And that's agriculture. Now let's get to the metals. Oh, my God. Oh. What was I telling everybody back in the day? What was I telling everybody? I was saying, look, for the life of you, please attempt to accumulate or make a play for gold and silver. Gold and silver, we're going to go up. We're in a bubble. Don't get me wrong. We are in a bubble. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with riding a bubble on the way to the top. I've been saying from day one, I put it out in blogs, I put it out on the show. All right, I have been saying that gold and silver, baby, oh my God. And let me tell you, and what would I suggest people to do? People would call me up cross-eyed like, what, Ghost? Are you actually telling me to go on? Yes. I'm telling you that what you should be doing right now is going out to your nearest pawn shop, which does not sell silver or gold at market value. They just mark up the gold and silver for whatever they got it for off the street or from some poor schmuck that needed to hawk it to get his payment for the rent. They just mark it up so they can get a profit, and you can actually negotiate a pretty good deal for an accumulation of some gold and silver at these pawn shops. And I had been saying this for months and months, and people were like, oh, man, no way, come on, I'm not going to do that. I'm not poor. They were like, their noses were up as if they were too good to go into a pawn shop and negotiate for some gold and some silver. I mean, their noses were up as if they were goddamn Marie Antoinette at the royal ball at, Versailles mansion or some crap. It's just disgusting. It's pathetic. But now all you people that were like, oh, my God, I would never go into any kind of a pawn shop to get any kind of gold or jewelry. Oh, my God, no way. Well, you know what? I hope all of you assholes are eating your own duty right now. I mean, I hope that you're eating the corn out of your own excrement right now, you piece of garbage. Now, let me explain something to you right now. Of course, we're seeing sell-offs in copper once again, folks, because, we've just seen all-time highs in copper. We're going to see another sell-off. But once again, copper still looks good in the short term as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I don't know when the bottom is. But it still looks good. It's down today, $4.10, a percentage decrease of 0.96%. But let me tell you, gold, baby. Gold. Right when S&P released its news that it's downgrading the United States' debt based upon the uncertainty of the political situation in this country, you saw a sell-off in the equities markets. And within literally 5 minutes, you saw a spike in gold. It went it was in the negative. I mean, if you look back in my tweets, you can follow me on Twitter, Ghost Politics, all one word, no underscores. I was reporting early in the morning because, man, I get here 5:30, 6 in the morning, trade futures here in the office. I get here early in the morning, and I was saying everything was down. Everything. Absolutely everything was down. But then this S&P rating of the United States debt came out, and let me tell you, it just spiked gold. I got a piece of that. You know I did. And silver also, but let's get to gold for Christ's sake. Gold today is up $10.70 today. It even went higher than that, but it closed out $10.70, a percentage increase of 0.72%. All right? Today, gold is at a price of $1,496.70 per troy ounce. We are literally dollars away from 1,500. And what have I been saying? What have I been saying? Once this commodity hits $1,500 per troy ounce, we're going to be flirting with 2,000. And if we continue flirting with 2,000, I mean, it's just going to keep going and going and going, and I see nothing but good things for gold. Not to mention silver. Oh, good God. I mean, if you would have just listened to Ghost here, if you would have just listened to this man at least just 2 weeks ago about silver, you'd be up at least 10% on your money minimum. I mean, at least. If you would have just listened and just started accumulating silver, however it was, making plays in stocks, ETFs, accumulating it physically, whatever the case might be, you'd be up some serious money. You'd be up some serious money. Today, silver is increased 84 cents today. An increased percentage of 2% today. 2% increase on silver. So if you were holding a silver chain, if you're one of these, asshole wannabe black guys, but you're actually whiter than the pasty white ass cheeks of Bill Clinton, you're going out here trying to pretend like you're bling-blinging it, but you got a silver chain. You know what I'm talking about. You see all these little stupid white goofy pricks with the little silver chain going. It's a thick silver chain, but it's a silver chain. Well, now they've got something to brag about. Now they've actually got some money in their pocket, for Christ's sake, because silver is in a bull market. Today it increased 2% alone. Silver closed out today at $43.42 per troy ounce. And I hope that everyone, and I'm talking everyone out there, is accumulating this or making plays on this. I'm still bullish on gold and silver for at least another year and a half, 2 years maximum. I am bullish. I mean, I know that there's a bubble. I repeat, there is a bubble on gold and silver, but why not ride it, baby? Why not ride that gold and silver bubble and then sell it off right before it busts, you know? Let's say you're somebody who's accumulated all kinds of crap within the next year and a half. Like, let's say you worked hard for your money and you're kind of scared about the stock market. You don't know how to play these things. You don't understand about PE ratios and the fundamentals. You don't understand this stuff. The very least you could do is just go out to the pawn shop and make some good deals on some silver and gold chains. And believe me, the more you buy from these establishments, the better deal you can make. And make sure you got cash money, because that's all these idiots know, just cash money. And you can talk these people down. Don't let them fool you that, we can't do it. Well, then just start walking out with the cash in your pocket, and they're going to be like, well, no, wait. That's how they're going to be. I'm telling you this right now. You go in there at least and just start accumulating. You know, every week set so odd dollars aside, accumulate silver, accumulate gold, diversify yourself. And once this bubble, just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and here in the next year and a half, 2 years, you sell off. You sell it all off. And let me tell you, there's going to be a lot of people buying at that time. Oh, man, when it's at $2,000+ troy ounce of gold, when it's at $50+ a troy ounce of silver, there's going to be a lot of buyers out here. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to accumulate this, and that's how you liquidate it, baby. You liquidate it, you make money, and you live large, because that's the way you do it. You understand? That's how you capitalize in America. All right? And that's if you don't know anything about the stock market. That's if you don't want to play the equities markets or any of these other financial instruments. That is a bear investment that has turned bullish. And let me tell you something right now. I am accumulating gold. I'm accumulating silver. I'm diversifying a bunch of different positions that I've got personally in my account in ETFs and accumulation of physical gold and silver. I'm not saying the liquidation date, but let me tell you what everybody should be looking for is when everybody wants it. When I'm talking about, you start hearing that, hey, we should start getting in gold and silver. We should start getting into gold and silver. When you start hearing this kind of crap in, like, everyday conversation, when people, like, you know, your everyday neighbor, your boss, I mean, people that you would have never have thought gotten into any of these kinds of finance, nor do they ever talk about it. When you start hearing these people talk about it, that's when you should start eyeballing a possible sell. And if you don't know, the good part about it is if you diversify yourself enough, if you accumulate enough gold and silver, you can liquidate it slowly. You know, you can liquidate it slowly. If you think it's the bottom, you liquidate some of it, you hold on to it and see how it is. No one knows. No one knows. That's really that's what creates this game. That's what creates the market, baby. You know what I mean? I mean, that's why you've got to keep your eyes on your positions at all times, and always remember that even if positions take a hit, as long as your positions have good long-term potential, which means, you know, they're going to at least be around within the next 2 to 3 years, and they're going to have possible profits but definite demand. I mean, just hold on to them. I mean, you know, the market is helter-skelterish. I mean, what was it? I mean, I have talked about stocks on this program that have increased like 40 or 50%. You know, when Green Mountain Coffee Roasters, you know, made the deal with Starbucks, what was it, a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. Do y'all remember this? I reported this on here. When Green Mountain Coffee Roasters made this deal with Starbucks that they were going to put their machines or put their products or something in Starbucks coffee, the damn stock of Green Mountain Coffee Roasters went up like 50-something%. All right, 50-something% on one day based upon that news. All right, I mean, you know, you're going to see dramatic spikes like this based upon news, based upon earnings, and this is how, I hate to say it, but this is how people are going to have to start making their plays when it comes to profiting out here in this market. You know, I mean, you have to be a very calculated capitalist, man. You really do have to know your game, you know, and let me tell you, if you listen to the True Capitalist radio broadcast, you're going to have the insight, you're going to have the foresight and the analyzation process to be able to read this market and possibly make some serious plays here. No BS, all right? No BS. Anyway, let's continue on, shall we? Silver, once again, closes out today at $43.42. I mean, wasn't it like a $40, like, literally, like, last Wednesday? I mean, wasn't it like $40 or something? What have I been telling you? What have I been saying, for Christ's sake? Anyway, let's continue on so we can go on with the program. Livestock futures, live cattle futures are up after decreases throughout last week and into the previous week. They've decreased for a while. They're buying them back, you know, buying them back. They're up 77 cents today, a percentage increase of 0.67%. Cattle feeder futures are up 72 cents, a percentage increase of 0.53%. And lean hog futures are up 15 cents, a percentage increase of 0.15%. And that is the markets for your ass, baby. All right, let's go ahead and get to the rest of the stuff. I'm sitting over here. I'm drinking. As a matter of fact, I've already got me, I've already got me some Crown on the Rocks. Love on the Rocks. Yeah, I got me some Crown on the Rocks right here. I want to say cheers to everybody out there who's listening in. I know it's Monday, but hey, who gives a crap? If you're capitalizing and if you're a capitalist, it's a lot better than being some loser schmuck having to wait for the first of the month so you can get your goddamn government cheese and your food card and actually make yourself feel like you're actually worth a crap to this human existence. Do you understand what I'm saying? Anyway, cheers to everybody out there. I'm drinking some Crown Royal Black. It's some hardcore stuff. It should be legal moonshine, for heaven's sake. But anyway, cheers to everybody out there. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Woo! I tell you right now, I could probably blow fire right now, boy. Woo! Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on, shall we? I want to acknowledge that there has been some exuberant storms that have been going around the South, specifically in the North Carolina area. Just unbelievable hailstorms, golf ball size hail going out throughout the South. We didn't witness it down here in Texas, but I know that out there in Arkansas, Oklahoma, we North Carolina, I mean, throughout the whole South had just a dramatic episode of literally 120 some odd tornadoes. It's just unbelievable. It's just really unbelievable. And, that is just uncalled for. Mother Nature is just really packing on, some of these natural episodes here. Never in my life have I seen these types of rainstorms, these types of hailstorms, tornadoes in such massive forms. We're seeing a lot of peculiar atmospheric phenomena. And all I can say, all I can say to people is just keep your head up. As a capitalist, this is why it is important to diversify your portfolio, diversify all of your investments, and have something to fall back on. Because God forbid, we're victims of one of these situations where our houses are blown apart because of a damn tornado, or our houses are just completely demolished because of golf ball size hail, or a baseball size hail was reported in some areas out there in the South. You have to start over from scratch, and the only way you can do that is if you have equities in the stock market that you could possibly liquidate and fall back on. You have gold that you can possibly liquidate and sell out there and fall back on. You have some savings. You got this. You have to have a diversified group of investments so that God forbid that this type of thing happens to any of us. This is why I'm always concerned about capitalists continuously diversifying. Believe me, it's so easy. It's so easy to get fat and be comfortable with whatever position that you're in, whatever your level of comfort is. It's so easy to do so. But remember, once you start kicking back as a capitalist, once you start taking a break and not necessarily being on top of your financial future, that's when you start slipping. That's when, big decreases in your nest egg, big decreases in your financial situation start happening. And that's not what you want to happen. You have to have these types of investments so that, God forbid, you're one of these poor people in the South that got devastated by these unprecedented, and I do repeat, unprecedented type storms. In my view, I ain't never seen this kind of crap. I've been on this earth for a long goddamn time. I've never seen some kind of a hail tornado storm sweep such a vast part of the United States of America. Never seen such a thing in my life. But once again, if it is going to happen, individuals need to be well diversified. They need to be, prepared. They need to be prepared to be able to deal with these types of things. And I know it's tough, people lose lives, people lose possessions, people lose, pictures, people lose these types of things, these types of disasters. But once again, that's why we all have to be prepared. We all have to be prepared, and I feel bad for everybody out there in the South. And people said that it was 64 tornadoes. As a matter of fact, it was 128 tornadoes, according to reports out there that I've heard in weather reports. That it was over 128 tornadoes. Hail the size of baseballs and softballs. This is some serious nonsense here, man. This is serious garbage. And it wasn't just isolated to a small part of the country. This was a vast part of the country here, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just, Jesus Christ, that's some strong stuff. Let me tell you, I'm a little concerned, and my heart and prayers go out to everybody who's out there in the South, North Carolina especially. 44 people as of late are dead. They're still, trying to excavate all the debris that has been, accumulated from these storms. They're trying to account for people. There's still people in critical condition that have suffered, just dramatic injuries. And once again, I just have to put this at the forefront as the lead-in story here, because it is definitely something that we should all have to worry about, and we should all be concerned with. We should all be concerned with the potential unprecedented atmospheric disturbance potentially displacing us, because, I mean, that just seems to be, what seems to be the trend in this earth at this point in time. And I say that you have to have a diversified group of investments. Remember that even if you are displaced, and God forbid you are, God forbid you lose everything, God forbid that you, anything like that happens to you, if you have investments, if you have savings, if you have gold stash somewhere, if you have these things, you'll be able to be able to get out of there, get out of that situation, and put yourself in a executive suite somewhere. These executive apartments come fully furnished. I'm just giving suggestions. I mean, that's what I would do if I was caught in a situation like that. I mean, I would be able to liquidate some of my positions, and as long as you have credit cards and debit cards and some checks and cash and some gold on you, I mean, you should be all right. You should be able to get out of the situation and be able to, go into a more civil, non-affected area by this atmospheric disturbance and stay at some kind of an executive suite, in my opinion, and start rebuilding and, contemplating on where exactly you're going to go, what's going to happen, your damages, so on and so forth, folks. I mean, my heart goes out to those folks in the South, man. 44 dead, hundreds injured. It's a horrible situation. Not to mention, folks, and I'm going to transition to another story, we're having our own situation out here in Texas. Yeah, out here in Texas, we got these damn wildfires out here that were started, by a variety of different people. We're having one of the worst droughts we've ever seen in years out here in Texas. And it's become a serious situation to where it's so dry that fires are easily started out here. And believe it or not, out here in Austin, Texas, we actually had wildfires, threaten the homes of Austinites that live out here in the Austin area. I mean, they were actually telling some of the people in Austin, Texas, to get the hell out of there because they couldn't control these damn fires. And now, what happened? Now, how did this fire start? Well, according to reports, it was some homeless prick, lighting a fire. So, according to reports, some homeless prick out there starting a fire. But that's just one fire out here in the Austin area. We've got over 1.5 million acres in North Texas scorched, completely burnt to the ground. Completely burnt to the ground, for Christ's sake. 1.5 million acres. I mean, that's just a disgusting disgrace what's happening to the state of Texas, for Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is horrible. You got ranchers out here. You got people out here losing their land. You got people losing their properties out here. Because, first of all, it's dry as hell. I mean, I know that there's a lot of people in the South, like I said, Oklahoma, North Carolina, Arkansas, Georgia region that got hit up by those horrific storms with softball-sized hail, literally 128 tornadoes throughout the whole southern region. I mean, the whole southern region of the United States, folks, not just some, isolated part. Now, we've got Texas literally scorching to the ground out here because we can't get a tad bit of rain out here. I mean, we can't get any rain, for Christ's sake, I mean, good God. Anyway, I'm gonna take a drink right now off this Crown Royal Black, and I want to hope that Gaia, which is Mother Nature, is listening in. Now, Mother Nature, us Texans, we've taken care of the land out here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we use it for agricultural-based endeavors. And, we would appreciate if you would, put some rain out here in Texas. As a matter of fact, I should start doing a goddamn rain dance or something. Hold on, let me take a drink first before I do the rain dance. All right. Now, I'm going to do a rain dance in hopes of bringing rain to Texas, baby. All right? Bringing rain to Texas. I will conjure up the spirit, the unkindred spirit of Chief Slap-a-Hoe. Chief Slap-a-Hoe, we need your spirit to come in to our bodies right now, and I need for you to... Oh, yeah, he's guiding me. Oh, Chief Slap-a-Hoe, he's in the house now. Rain dance. Here, let me go ahead and get on the damn desk here. Piece of crap. Ow. I'm all right. Shake it off. Let me walk it off. Yeah. Let me walk it off. Oh, man. I guess that's what I get for, mocking the, mocking the spirit of Chief Slap-a-Hoe. Oh, my God, that hurt. Hold on, I'm gonna have a seat here real quick. Jesus Christ. Oh, my gosh, I'm sorry, folks. I was just, trying to be comical there, and all of a sudden got on the... Jesus Christ. I got on the damn desk, trying to, conjure up the spirit of Chief Slap-a-Hoe, and, I fell off the goddamn desk, you stupid desk, you piece of crap. Oh, Jesus Christ, that hurt. All right, well, we're going to continue on. We're going to continue the show. I'm sitting down. It feels better when I'm sitting down. That's what it does. It feels better. Anyway, the whole reason... Hold on, let me take some more drinks. Maybe it'll numb me up a little bit. Oh, man. Anyway. I really hurt myself, folks. I'm sorry. I'm off keister here. I know I should be getting on with the show here, but I really slipped and fell, and it hurts. Oh, my God, it hurts. Jesus Christ. Anyway, let me go ahead and move on to another subject matter. The whole reason why I got up like an idiot and started, dancing around on the desk like Chief Slap-a-Hoe was in hopes of trying to conjure up the spirit of Chief Slap-a-Hoe and bring some rain out here to Texas because, Jesus Christ. Because like I said, there's over 1.5 million acres scorched out here in Texas because of wildfires, folks, and that's why I was trying to conjure up the spirit of Chief Slapaho. So anyway, I slipped and fell, and everybody's doing a ha-ha about it. That's great, huh? I'm so glad. Yeah, keep laughing. All right, I'm hurting here, you ass clowns. I'm hurting here, for Christ's sake. Jesus Christ. All right, let me move on to another subject matter here. Anyway, we're talking about we're talking about the Texas wildfires. How they've scorched 1.5 million acres. I'm going to talk a little bit about Japan. Because Japan continues with this nuclear fallout situation that is affecting everybody out here in the international community, folks. I mean, they're dumping nuclear radioactive waste in the Pacific Ocean. They've allowed these plutonium, uranium-based rods to be exposed and basically smog into the air. I mean, they're being brought in through Gulf streams into the United States. We're seeing high traces of radiation into the Pacific area, the West Coast. I mean, it's just disgusting. You know what I mean? It's just disgusting what's happening here in this Japan situation. And you know who's really the victim of all this is the Japanese people. The Japanese people are being subjects to this Japanese government that is doing nothing to stop this radioactivity from happening. And not to mention that you've got these assholes from the United Nations and NATO that like to be the international overlords of everything, that, oh yes, we're going to go in here and we're going to stop the humanitarian situations that we got over here. Yes, we are. Well, this is a humanitarian situation there, UN and NATO. This is a goddamn humanitarian situation. Why don't you take your goddamn tea-drinking thumb out of your clogged-up colon pipe and realize that this, in Japan, this nuclear radioactive fallout that is affecting the entire world is an international situation. And if you, the United Nations and NATO, if you assholes wanted to prove your international pertinence and your relevancy, this is the perfect opportunity for you bureaucratic international institution pieces of garbage to assert yourself in a way that can give you some decent PR. But instead, what are you doing? You're going into Libya. Oh, yeah, that's great, isn't it? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, but remember, you know, now that I mean, wasn't Ghost talking about this several weeks back when this whole damn thing started? That they should be sending in robots. I mean, right in Japan, they're big in robots. I mean, they've got that damn robot that can dance around and play the freaking violin and do a do-si-do and all that crap. I mean, why can't we just send one of these robots in there? Why can't Japan do it? Well, now they have contracted the United States. The United States company, iRobot, which is the robot company that basically manufactures those little robot vacuums, robot moppers, robot sweepers, and all that other stuff. Well, they actually had to contact the United States to finally send in some goddamn robots, and lo and behold, the United States sent in some robots. And what did they find out? Oh, there's high levels of radiation. Oh, no kidding. No kidding. Thanks, Japan government. The Japanese people are being exposed to high levels of radiation, and you're like, I think we need to send in a robot so they can tell us what we already know. The reason you need robots in there is to prevent the problem. Do something about it. Pour water on it, whatever the case might be. I think it's far beyond at this point. I think that what they should have done is done what they did in Chernobyl. God damn, I'm hurt. Do what they did in Chernobyl and dump some goddamn wet cement, wet mud, and just encapsulate the whole damn thing and make sure it's buried for the next 150, 200 years or whatever the case might be. It's a disgrace that they're exposing these poor people out there in Japan to all this radioactive fallout, and it's getting into the water, it's getting into the food, for Christ's sake. This is horrible. Well, anyway, they contracted the American company iRobot to send in a couple of robots into nuclear reactors 1 and 3, and lo and behold, they found high levels of radiation. Oh, really? Well, according to them, though, according to the radioactive readings, they can still send in workers in there. This is what the Japanese government got out of these robots going in and visiting radioactive, nuclear reactor 1 and 3. They actually said that, yeah, we're going to go ahead and go in there. It's, still low enough radioactive levels to send in some guys and maybe do something. Do what? Do what exactly? Jesus Christ, man. I mean, I'm serious, man. I mean, Japan, I'm not talking about the Japanese people. Remember, the people are basically subjects of their government. This is a passive people. These people don't have any guns. I mean, Japan doesn't even have an army. I mean, Japan is just it's a country that is completely and solely reliant on its government, and this is what's happening. And this should be a prime example to everybody, including the most important group of all, capitalists. This should show capitalists that we cannot rely on government institutions when it comes down to it. When it comes down to it, we cannot rely on government institutions because they're going to act just like they are right now here in Japan. The Japanese government are doing their people a tremendous disservice, and I can't believe that these bureaucrats can actually wake up in the morning, look at themselves in the mirror, and say, I am a good Japanese person. You are not. All right? You better be sipping on a lot of bottles of sake and getting yourself completely inebriated to make yourself goddamn believe that what you're doing by sitting over here saying, oh, everything good out here, no, it's not good. It's not good. This is an international situation. This whole nuclear situation is an international situation, and nobody's giving two rat's asses, and it's making me sick. And I continue to bring it up on this broadcast in hopes of letting everybody know that, hey, let's not forget that this is happening, all right? All right, let's not forget that there's a radioactive situation happening right now, and the longer it just remains idle, the longer it continues to burn, the more and more radioactivity is going into the air. So who the hell knows what the implications of that? Not to mention they're dumping radioactive water in the Pacific. They're dumping radioactive water in the Pacific, and scientists are trying to shove it down our holes. And, no, it'll be okay. Don't worry about it. They'll adapt. You know, the radioactivity will just spread out. It'll just dissolute in the damn ocean. Don't worry about it. Ridiculous, man. It makes me sick. It really does make me sick to my stomach, man. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let me take I gotta take another drink. I mean, you don't understand. I mean, I last Thursday I had to go to the doctor. All right, and he's telling me, "Hey, Ghost, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to take this medication to, lower your cholesterol, and it's just going to cause side effects. So you got to take this medication, that medication." I don't want to take medication. I know that I have to. I mean, I know that I'm not in the best health. You know what I'm saying? I know that I live a pretty a stressful life, to say the least, not just based upon my business life, but based upon how I interpret life in general. But I'm just going to keep drinking. I'm going to cut down on the foods. I have cut down on eating the juicy steaks and the artery clogging triple cheeseburgers with double bacon, and I've stopped eating all that stuff. All right, I'm not eating like a rabbit. All right. But I'm cutting down, and I'm trying to play it safe here. But I'm not giving up this here. This is my medication right here. As a matter of fact, I think I'm doing myself better by drinking, because at least I'm thinning out my blood. You know what I mean? I'm thinning out the blood. That should be pretty good for the blood vessels and for the heart, right? Yeah, that should be pretty good. Anyway, cheers to everybody out there. Cheers. I'm taking a drink to everybody who's listening. If you could please retweet the broadcast, I'd appreciate it. Let me go ahead and take a drink here. Yeah. Man, now that is what I'm I'm talking about. I'm telling you this right now. This is some strong stuff. Legal moonshine is what I'm calling Crown Royal Black. Anyway, folks, we are in the second hour of the True Capitalist radio broadcast. Of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. If you could please let everybody know, all right, that we are in effect and in the house, all right? blogtalkradio.com/ghost is the link to send them, all right? Retweet it. Go out there, put it on the social networking sites, and spread it around everywhere, all right? Spread it around like wildfire. And let everybody know that we're in effect and in the house. And if they got anything to say, if they're one of those little fruity, politically correct, bedwetting, liberal pansy asses that gets offended really easy, those are the people that I want you to bring into this broadcast. Those are the people that I want to see in this chat room, for Christ's sake. I mean, because I throw so much substance upon substance upon substance on the debating table that they won't know what the hell hit them. Anyway, 646-652-4869 is the number to call, folks. I want to hear from you. I mean, we've already gone through a whole bunch of crap. There's a whole bunch of other crap to talk about. Muammar Gaddafi continues shelling civilians in Libya. Yeah, we're supposed to. That's the whole reason why we went in, all right? That's the whole reason why we went in, is to prevent supposed slaughter in Libya. And now we've got Muammar Gaddafi shelling civilians. He's shelling civilians, for Christ's sake. He's killing his own people. I mean, isn't this why the United States is in there? Isn't this why NATO is in this place, for Christ's sake, so that we can prevent this type of supposed slaughter? Meanwhile, Muammar Gaddafi is shelling civilians, man. All right? Unbelievably, he's killing them. He's just slaughtering them in the streets without a care in the world, for Christ's sake. And I like how the media is just kind of nonchalantly reporting this. I mean, you actually have to dig deep out there on the internet to find this type of reporting. I mean, they're just going to say, oh, yeah, the rebels, the rebels this. It's horrible. It's just unbelievably disgusting, man. I mean, this is what we're in. This is the fourth war that we're in, the fourth American war that we are in. Thanks, Obama. Yes, we can, baby. Yes, we can. Jesus Christ. And where are the liberals after all this? Where are all these people that were crying after Obama was elected? Where are you assholes? Can you please call up? I'd like to hear you, please justify this nonsense, all right? I mean, we're in Libya, supposedly in a humanitarian effort, and Muammar Gaddafi is shelling his own people. He is killing his own people, you morons. Unfreaking believable. And where are you idiots at? You're nowhere. Well, anyway, you know us, folks. I mean, we're always on top of things. I mean, we are a grade A news organization here at the True Capitalist Radio. We have actually got a representative from the Muammar Gaddafi faction, the Muammar Gaddafi government, and basically he's going to give his response to my criticisms to Muammar Gaddafi shelling civilians. And let me tell you, my criticisms is that it's disgusting, It's pathetic. It's despicable. And we're supposed to be in Libya to prevent a humanitarian situation. We're supposed to be in Libya to prevent a humanitarian situation. And Muammar Gaddafi is shelling his own people. They're killing innocent women and children, for Christ's sake. Anyway, without any further ado, we got a representative of Muammar Gaddafi on the phone here. Are you there, Mahmoud? Are you there?
Who is the Allah? Who is Ar-Rahman? Who is Al-Mannan?
Yes, that is right. All of you American people and all you people from NATO don't understand. We fight for Muammar Gaddafi. We fight for Allah. And your people have to realize that we control this part of the desert. And we will fight to the death. All of you motherfuckers out there in America think that we're going to back down because you got big weapons. We got big weapons too, motherfucker. Remember, we've been ruling this country for 40 years. For 40 years, we've been ruling this country. And we have lots of money from all the oil we've been selling on the world market, you motherfuckers. All the money on the world market we've been selling, and we've been buying weapons. We got a lot of weapons. We got a lot of everything. We will fight to the death for Muammar Gaddafi. We want Muammar Gaddafi. Long live Muammar Gaddafi. Allah Akbar. Wallah Akbar. Your American people think that we are just going to go away because you have big weapons. We are not. We will die for Allah. We will die for Muammar Gaddafi. And all the people that are supporting NATO, all the people that are supporting the United States of America, you will suffer the wrath of Muammar Gaddafi. You will suffer the wrath of Allah. I have nothing else to say to you, motherfuckers. Wallah Akbar. Wassalamu alaikum. And fuck you, Ghost. You're a motherfucker. You sit here talk a lot of garbage to us, Ghost, and we don't appreciate it, motherfucker. Alright, you are on my shit list, you piece of shit. And we will go there and we will find you, Ghost, and you're a piece of garbage. Wallah Akbar.
Alright, get this idiot. He's threatening me to get him off. You're gonna sit over here and threaten me, for Christ's sake. You ain't threatening me. Don't you have bigger fish to fry? Huh? Aren't you battling for your own goddamn country, for Christ's sake? I mean, you've got rebels inking deals in oil fields that they just took over like 2 weeks ago, for Christ's sake. And you're sitting over here talking garbage to me there, Mahmoud? Huh? Yeah, just go eat a pickled cucumber or something, you fruity bastard. All right, get this idiot out of here. But once again, we're supposed to be in this country, right, Libya, so that we can prevent a humanitarian situation from happening, right? Well, now we've got Muammar Gaddafi shelling his own people. He is destroying his own people because he does not want to leave power. Welcome to this disgusting, despicable, autocratic world that we live in. And let me tell you something right now. I mean, the more and more Gaddafi, murders people, the more and more I don't understand why we're just not killing this bastard. I mean, we have the capability of killing him, all right? I mean, I know they're trying to fall back on international law. They're trying to say, the Geneva Conventions, the United Nations Charter, this and that. But he's killing his own people. He's bombing the hell out of his own people so he can stay in power. So why exactly are we allowing this idiot and his family to survive, is what I'm saying, huh? It's stupid. None of this makes sense. And, of course, I'm asking questions. Nobody's going to give me any answers. These dumb, power-hungry autocrats in Washington are just, waxing their carrots while spending our money and, fattening their campaign contribution accounts, and it's just making me sick. And it should make the rest of the American people sick. But instead, they're more worried about Pia Toscano shaking her Italian ass on American Idol and making the little pink willies, go up, instead of hanging like a limp noodle. I mean, it's sick, man. It's stupid. Anyway, enough with Libya. I mean, we know that we're in there. It's the fourth American war out here that we're in the Middle East. Oh, yeah, that's not going to throw flame on the fire. Yeah, right. Anyway, in more Middle East news, anti-government protesters in Syria, continue to push forward. Continue to push forward as another 12 are killed in Sunday's protests. I mean, Assad better pull his head out of his ass. The guy who's the leader of that country, Bashir Assad, that stupid moron that got bequeathed the country by his daddy. Yeah, his daddy gave him the country. I mean, and then he's wondering why these people don't want him in power. I mean, give me a break. All right? Anyway, one of the main key factors in these protests that are happening in Syria is the fact that the Syrian people want this 30-year emergency rule that they've had, for all this time. They want it to be lifted. There should be no more emergency rule, which basically gives the government the right to dictate in a totalitarian fashion the people's actions, thoughts, feelings, that sort of thing. And that's a lot of the reasons why they are protesting. And, I know Bashir thinks that he can be able to, Bashir Assad can kill these people. He can order his men to kill them, and he thinks he can scare people into submission. These people aren't scared, all right? I mean, there's, over 150, 200 people have been dead, been shot in the streets. And they're not going away, Assad, all right? They're not going away, so you got to take your head out of your, camel-riding ass, you Baathist wannabe secularist prick, and realize that, you're not going to be able to sustain power, Assad. And Assad is trying. I mean, let's give the little, son of a dictator some credit, all right? Let's just give him a little bit of credit here. He has been trying. As a matter of fact, he has announced today that he is going to relinquish that 30-year rule. That, be honest with you, that they're not gonna, that he's going to lift it. That no longer will there be a 30-year rule or emergency rule of the people. But he said, and he warned the people that once this emergency rule is lifted, that there should be no more disobedience. No more protesting, no more anti-government protesting, anything of the sort, because then, of course I'm paraphrasing him, but he basically said this, and not so many words in my opinion. He was saying, but if you continue to protest after I lift this 30-year rule, I'm going to kill more of your asses. And, the people really don't care. I mean, the people, they've taken to, they've just taken to the square in the third largest city. I've read those reports. Thanks, Bobo, for putting that in there. Not to mention they're in Damascus sitting down in a sit-in. I mean, there's a lot of things happening in Syria. Syria better watch its ass. I mean, Assad, you need to take your head out of your ass and you need to start, maybe ripping out a page of Nasser, How about ripping out a page of Nasser a little bit, and maybe, just maybe, you can sustain your rule just a little bit longer. But no, you're going to mow people down in the middle of the streets. You're going to kill innocent people, and believe me, they're not going to forget, moron. They're not going to forget that you killed them. And you see, folks, you've been listening up to this point. I mean, aren't you sick and tired of hearing this? Oh, these people dead because this asshole won't step into power. Oh, these people are dead because they think their religious, God is better than their God. Oh, these people are dead because of this and because of that. All this ridiculous disorder, all this disgusting, primitive-minded crap, this idea of we need to worship governments, we need to worship monarchs, we need to worship religions, we need to worship cultures, we need to worship nationals, the nationalities of somebody. We need to worship, God darn it, man. I mean, it's sad that there's so many people dying for the most ridiculous garbage alive. It's just unbelievably disgusting. We should be beyond this. Science, whenever they look out into space, and whenever they're trying to look for other civilizations out there in the intergalactic realm of the universe, there are three types of civilizations they're looking for. All right, there's a type 1 civilization, type 2 civilization, and a type 3 civilization. And you see, folks, right now, you know what type of civilization we are? We're type 0. We're type 0. We haven't even made the pinnacle point of transitioning into a type 1 civilization. Now, what does that mean exactly? What does this mean? It means that we, as a human race, have to disassociate ourselves of all the stupid bonds that have done nothing but cause human strife throughout the realms and the halls of human history. And I've said this time and time again, if you look at the halls of human history, they're written in blood. They're written in human blood because of culturalism, because of religious institutionalism, nothing but cause continuous and habitual human strife. We have got to disband ourselves from this old primitive thinking. We have to disassociate ourselves from this primitive human that wants to cling on to these ridiculous ideas that have done nothing. And I repeat, they have done nothing to progress human civilization. Nothing. Now, I'm going to take a break here. But I want everybody to listen to Dr. Michio Kaku, excuse me, I don't mean to mispronounce the man's name. He's a brilliant scientist. Dr. Michio Kaku is an unbelievable scientist that is going to explain the three types of civilization. All right? Dr. Kaku is one of these guys that understands what not only I am saying, but anybody who is of a higher, elevated, enlightened level of mental capacity will understand as well. So, folks, without any further ado, I am going to put on an audio clip of Dr. Michio Kaku explaining the three types of civilizations. And I'd like for everybody to please, turn up your radios real loud so that everybody that's within the vicinity of this particular broadcast can listen to this. Because some people may think of this next little blurb that I'm about to air as, oh, no, that's not right. That's not right. It's just bull crap. He's disrespecting my God, and that's all there is to it. Or he's disrespecting my country, and or he's disrespecting my culture. And all those people that are going to do that, they are the threat. Do you understand that the individuals that are a threat to human civilization are those that are not understanding of modernity and our positions as humankind, are individuals that continuously want to cling to these old primitive ideas and concepts? Do you understand? It's these old ideas and concepts that they want to cling on to, and that's the enemy. That's the enemy of human progress. Anyway, without any further ado, Dr. Michio Kaku, the three types of civilizations. Listen to it and learn.
When we physicists look in outer space for alien life, we don't look for little...
Hold on just a second. What's the big idea, for Christ's sake, man? I recorded that on a higher level than that, Blog Talk Radio. Stop being an ass clown. Go ahead.
When we physicists look in outer space for alien life, we don't look for little green men. We look for Type 1, Type 2, and Type 3 civilizations. A Type 1 civilization has harnessed planetary power. They control earthquakes, the weather, volcanoes. They have cities on the ocean. Anything planetary, they control. That's Type 1. A Type 2 civilization is stellar. They've exhausted the power of a planet, and they get their energy directly from their mother star. They just don't get a suntan on a weekend. They use solar flares. They use the power of the sun itself to energize their huge machines. Eventually, they exhaust the power of a star, and they go galactic. They harness the power of billions of stars within a galaxy. Now, for example, Buck Rogers would correspond to a Type 1 civilization, a planetary civilization. Star Trek and the Federation of Planets, who have colonized a few star systems, would correspond to a Type 2 system. And the Empire of Star Wars would correspond to a Type 3 civilization. Now, what are we on this scale? We are Type 0. We don't even rate on this scale. We get our energy from, not from stars or galaxies, we get our energy from dead plants, oil and coal. But we can calculate when we will attain Type 1 status, in about 100 years. Now, every time I read the newspaper, I see evidence of this historic transition from Type 0 to Type 1. And I am privileged to be alive in the most important era in the history of the human race, the transition from Type 0 to Type 1. I read the newspaper, and I see evidence of this everywhere. What is the European Union? The European Union has been formed to oppose NAFTA, that is, the United States, Canada, and Mexico. But why? Because we're seeing the beginnings of a Type 1 economy. Huge planetary trading blocks are the beginnings of a Type 1 economy. And what language will this Type 1 economy speak? Everywhere I go around the world, I find that the elites all speak English as a second language. In the future, the planet Earth will be like that. Everyone will speak their own native language, but on top of that, there will be a Type 1 language, probably English. There's also going to be a Type 1 culture and a Type 1 political system as well. You can go anywhere on the planet Earth and show people pictures of two individuals that are instantly recognizable by any human, Madonna and Arnold Schwarzenegger. In other words, we're talking about Hollywood movies. We're talking about rock and roll, rap music, blue jeans. That's going to be the planetary culture of the planet Earth. And what is the Internet? The Internet is the beginning of a Type 1 telephone system. That's all it is. And so this transition is perhaps the most important transition of all time. Some people don't want it. They fear this transition because this transition is to a planetary civilization tolerant of many cultures. These are the terrorists. In their gut, they fear this because they know they are witnessing the birth pangs of a beginning of a new planetary civilization, and the terrorists want nothing to do with it. This transition is also the most important because it's not clear if we're going to make it. When we look at outer space, we see no evidence of Type 1, 2, or 3 anywhere. No evidence whatsoever. The mathematics say that there should be thousands of Type 1, 2, and 3 civilizations in the galaxy. We see no evidence of any whatsoever. And why is that? Because the transition from Type 0 to Type 1 is the most dangerous of all transitions. We may not make it. It's a race against time. On one hand, we have the forces of integration, the forces of tolerance, a multicultural fabric emerging before our eyes. On the other hand, we have weapons of mass destruction, germ warfare, nuclear warfare, also the rise of international terrorism. They are obstacles to reaching a Type 1 civilization. So in other words, perhaps they didn't make it in outer space. If one day we have starships and visit other star systems, perhaps we'll find planets whose atmospheres are irradiated or whose atmospheres are too hot to bear life because they did not make the transition from Type 0 to Type 1. Now, by the time you're Type 2, you are immortal. Nothing known to science can destroy a Type 2 civilization. Even a supernova cannot destroy a Type 2 civilization. They'll either move their home planet or they'll simply stop the nuclear fires from exploding. And by the time a civilization becomes galactic, they may in fact have the ability to control the face of the galaxy itself. By the way, if you're Type 3, you will explore the galaxy not by sending Captain Kirk on an Enterprise hopping from star system to star system. That would take millions of years to explore the Milky Way galaxy. The way you do it is you would create a robot. Have the robot land on a moon. It would create a factory. It would make millions of copies of itself on this moon, which is quite stable, and send these to other moons. Then each of these would create another factory. Starting with one robot, you would have 1 million, then 1 million million, and 1 million million million, until you had a sphere expanding near the speed of light, containing trillions of these robots. They would land on a moon and simply wait for a Type 0 civilization to become Type 1. Now, where have you seen that before? This is the basis of the movie 2001. The movie 2001 is perhaps the most authentic rendition of the encounter of a Type 0 civilization with a Type 3 civilization. Now, at the beginning of the movie, Stanley Kubrick interviewed many leading astronomers and scientists, and we laid out this scenario, that the most efficient way to colonize a galaxy is to send robots have them land on the moon, and create a factory, and then they would shoot out and colonize other moons. But at the last minute, Kubrick cut the first 5 minutes of his own film, and the film became super mystical. But the next time you see that movie, realize that the monolith on the moon is perhaps a remnant of a passing Type 3 civilization waiting for our Type 0 civilization to become Type 1. And how long before we have an operating moon base capable of detecting such a monolith? Perhaps 100 years. So again, the generation now alive and our grandchildren are the most important generations ever to walk the surface of the earth. We are the generations that will determine whether we make the transition from Type 0 to Type 1 or we destroy ourselves because of our arrogance and our weapons.
Well, you heard it right there, folks. This is just what it comes down to. We may not make it. We're sitting over here. We have the ability to do so much as a human race, and yet we are stifled by primitive ideas that continue to be the headlines of international news. Killings, murders for the sake of political institutions, for the sake of religious institutions, for the sake of culturalism, nationalism. It's disgraceful. And this is what's really preventing the human race from progressing forward. And every time that I report about, this international incident, these people dying, that people dying, it just burns a hole in my stomach to know that it doesn't look like we may make it. There's just too many people that are jeopardizing civility. And it's a scary thought because I want to live under civility. I am very proud of the human race. I know I talk a lot of garbage about the Poe in America. I talk a lot of garbage about different races and stuff like that because I don't care about race. I don't care about culturalism. I don't care about all these stupid little primitive ideas that have done nothing but cause wars and destruction and devastation to humanity. What I care about is the progress of humanity, catapulting humanity's perception to areas we can't even imagine, expanding our knowledge to the point where we're on global situations, we're on planets, we're colonizing moons, we're colonizing planets. It makes me sick to my stomach to know that we're living in a world where we're still talking about Muslims versus Christians, we're talking about crusades and infidels, we're still talking about, my country's wee-wee is bigger than your country's wee-wee, we're still talking about my people are better than your people. My people, yes, I am from France, and we are so better. Yes, we are. We are from France. We live in a... Shut up! It's an utter disgrace. And I hope everybody that's listening out there really heard what Dr. Kaku was saying. It's disgraceful. And, I know there's some people that are criticizing Kaku's, opinion about the European Union. He's not necessarily stating that the European Union is somehow a better economic system than the United States. What he's saying is that the consolidation of so-called nations are starting to erase the boundaries of economic transaction, in which where one can not only be rich in America, but that same amount of assets can be parlayed to another part of the world and be able to retain its value. That's what he was talking about. That no longer are we going to have to before, hey, I'm going to go from America to Japan, and I got to exchange this, I got to exchange that, I got to deal with these exchange rates for currency, and this is what he's talking about. He's not talking about the European Union or America's better. Not saying anything of the sort. Remember, this is just being critically analytic when it comes to interpreting what is happening around us. And that's why I say to everybody out there that's listening in, the capitalists, the individuals that are the ones that fund what is happening here, have to take a bigger stand before other institutionalists like the United Nations, NATO, before scientific institutions, before educational institutions. Remember, we have to assert our authority here. It is our entrepreneurship. It is our ability to be inspired. It's our ability to take risks that continue the flow of economic prosperity. And economic prosperity continues the growth of technology, science, and so forth. And it doesn't matter what economic system that you're in, as long as you have the ability to capitalize, as long as there's an element to capitalism within your system, it should be gravy, baby. Anyway, let me continue on, shall we? I just wanted to, let everybody know that, as I continue to read news and continue to let everybody know about all the disorder in the world, I'm sick of it. I don't know about you, but I'm sick of this crap. I'm sick of people dying. I'm sick of hearing all these dumbasses, leading countries thinking that, you must die for me. I am a leader. I don't want to step down here. You're going to have to step. You're going to have to die for me now. Stupid. Utterly stupid. Primitive. Ridiculous. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed as a human being when I look out in the world and see this type of primitive killing going on out here. It's just a disgrace. It's utter disgrace. Anyway, before we went off on that tirade and, listened to Dr. Michio Kaku, we were talking about Syria and how they are continuing to kill their people, trying to protest against Assad's 30-year rule or 30-year emergency rule. Anyway, they shot 12 people Sunday. They're going to continue to kill more people. That's, if anything, should be a humanitarian situation. That should be because, there is no fighting opposition in Syria. These people have no weapons. They're just being shot dead for demonstrating. Sick. Unbelievably sick. Anyway, let's go on to another part of Africa, shall we? Let's go, or not Africa, but let's go to another part of the world. We were talking about Syria, but let's go to another part of the world, shall we? Nigeria. Nigeria is starting to show unrest because of the elections that have happened recently in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, it looks like the President Goodluck Jonathan. Believe it or not, that is his real name. The Nigerian president, his name is Goodluck Jonathan. He's going to win the election, and the opposition is a little pissed off. And being the primitive-minded people that they are, they're going out taking machetes and taking, knives and, other weapons and going into the precincts where they believe, people voted for Goodluck Jonathan and giving them some bad luck by slicing them up and, chopping them down, killing children. It's just, goddamn, man. I'm tired of this crap. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. I know everybody gets the email. I am a Nigerian prince, and I will give you 2,100 Nigerian dollars if you will temporarily hold it in your account, and I will deal with it. Shut up. Anybody who falls for that deserves it, man. Seriously, I'm sorry. Anybody who falls for that crap, it's the, who falls for it? The something for nothing assholes, that think that, hey, I could get something for nothing, dude. All I gotta do, dude, is just go out and just give this dude, my account number and information. He's gonna send me, like 21 million or something, dude, and you just give me a break. Jesus Christ. It's horrible, man. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to see some more unrest now. It looks like Nigeria seems to be the next country that could be under some major unrest, major butchery happening as we speak, because old Goodluck Johnson is elected president once again. And old Goodluck Johnson ain't providing any good luck for the people, that's for sure, man. He needs to get some order, and he needs to get it now, because there should be no reason why people should be butchered up because of a goddamn presidential election. It's stupid. It is unbelievably stupid for people to be chopped up because of a goddamn presidential election. It's just horrible. Horrible. And what's with Goodluck Johnson anyway? What kind of an asshole in Nigeria is like, I am going to name my baby Good Luck. He's going to give everybody good luck. It's Allah. Let him mercy. I'm sorry, man. I just didn't know. I mean, come on, man. I'm sorry, man. That was kind of funny. Anyway, enough of Nigeria. I'm just putting that on the forefront to everybody out there that's listening in. Be on the lookout for President Goodluck Johnson's name to be in the papers as of late, because there's some unrest now happening in Nigeria because he's elected president. And hopefully Goodluck Johnson's Goodluck Johnson almost sounds like a goddamn porn star name. I mean, come on, man. I mean, give me a break. Goodluck Johnson, I mean, I could just see that right now. I mean, you got, some porn star, Goodluck Johnson in Johnson Takes Johnson. I mean, give me a break. Anyway. Let's take some calls here. 646-652-4869 is the number to call. I want to hear from you. Nobody calls in anymore. I wonder why. Are people scared? Are you scared? Don't be scared. You know what I mean? I mean, let me tell you something right now. I understand that people hate me. There's a lot of people that are in the chat room that talk a lot of garbage. They flap their fat Dorito-stained fingers on the keyboard, talk a lot of garbage at me, wish a lot of ill things towards me, and yet they can't get their fat cottage cheese asses off the chair and get to the nearest phone and give me a call. And the reason is, folks, is because there's a lack of personality out here. There's a lack of personality in America, and not to mention, folks, that there is a lack of manly dominance being asserted out here. You know what I'm saying? And let me be perfectly honest with you. I'm sure that all the, lack of testicle having, ballless, text warrior asshole jerk nuts that are flapping their Cheeto-stained fingers on the keyboard, talking garbage at me, I guarantee you that if they have their little computers up a little high and their girlfriends or wives or their mammy, we're going to talk about that, man, they could be living with their mammy, they better turn that little knob down on the computer, because let me tell you something, I bet you everybody is in complete freaking awe. Complete freaking awe at the manly dominance that I just throw around this goddamn show like it ain't crap. You understand? Like it ain't crap, boy. I'm not going to sit here and allow some pussy whip text chat warrior fat jelly ass sit over here and try to say that, oh, yeah, Ghost, you're an asshole, you're stupid, yeah. I'm making you look lower than a leprechaun's nutsack, and by the way, you better not have the computer up too loud. You better not have the computer up too loud, because I guarantee you that your mammy or any female within the vicinity of the computer is creaming out their pantyhose right now. I guarantee you they're in complete awe at the manly dominance that I'm throwing around, because it's a rare species nowadays in the midst of all this land of fruit bowls. It's a rare species, and I could just see them now. I could just see them right now with their jaws dropped and saying, oh, where did he come from? Where did he come from? And I bet you right now, if you have a girl sitting next to you, she is excusing herself, going into the restroom, and whacking her clitoris off like a windshield wiper at a whack. Oh, I'm out of line. That's over. Sorry, I'm out of line. Anyway, let me get back to the show, folks. I didn't mean to get off keister there. 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. We were talking about Good Luck Johnson. You know, that's something like you would name your prick, you know what I mean? Like, hey, baby, why don't you come on over here and pay Good Luck Johnson a visit, huh? You know what I'm saying? I mean, doesn't that sound like something, like, completely inappropriate, and yet we actually have to, like, call this asshole, like, President Good Luck Johnson if we ever met this idiot? You know that? So how you doing, President Good Luck Johnson? I mean, give me a break, man. I mean, seriously, it's something that you name your noodle or something, you know what I'm saying? He'd be like, hey, baby, why don't you suck on Good Luck Johnson over here? I want you to take a ride on Good Luck Johnson over here, you filthy animal. Anyway, that's enough of Good Luck Johnson. Anyway, let's continue on, shall we? The Ivory Coast rain season began, on a lighter note. The Ivory Coast rain season began, and yet no crops are laid on the ground because these assholes out here in the Ivory Coast have been, for a lack of a better term, pissing and moaning over which president was going to be elected and which president had a bigger wee-wee. I kid you not. We talked about Laurent Gbagbo. Laurent Gbagbo didn't want to step down when he was unelected as president out there in the Ivory Coast, and we've been dealing with it ever since. Anyway, I want to hear from you, all right? 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. I want to hear from you. Let's take some callers right here, right now. And let me tell you, I see there's idiots in the chat room talking garbage. Don't be an ass clown, all right? Don't be a little pussy boy, some panty-laced ass clown that's the other side of the glory hole. I want you to get on the goddamn horn over here and give me a call, 646-652-4869, and give me a damn call, for Christ's sake, you milky liquor. Anyway, let's take some calls here. Area code 213, you there?
Yeah, Ghost, what's up, baby? What's up? What's going on with you, Ghost?
Christ. This guy again. Great.
Yeah, baby, I couldn't call you on Bottle Friday, baby, because I was busy, you know, just chilling like a villain. Like you say, Ghost, I was just chilling like a villain.
I don't blame you. I couldn't make it Thursday. I had to go to the doctor. I was feeling a little lightheaded. I had some chest pains going on, and then when I went to the doctor, he just tried to put me on 150 different pills. And I said, screw that. I'm just going to cut back on the damn greasy cheeseburgers and the juicy steaks, and I'm just going to keep drinking. That's what I'm going to do. But anyway, what do you got to say there, 213? Is that kid growing up yet? I mean, it's still crying.
No, baby, my kid's good. I done told you, man. Leave my kid out of conversation. Look, I wanted to ask you, fellas, you know, word around the chat rooms, you got a little purple cream that you got from a guy in the bar, and I just want to know what you plan on doing with that on 420, baby. That's all I want to know.
Oh, well, you know, I'm glad you brought that up there, 213. I mean, unfortunately, I was in the bar patronizing the east part of 6th Street, which is the college kid part of 6th Street, where all the college kids congregate and they take advantage of $you-call-its on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Believe it or not, I was in the John, and, you know, whenever you're in a bar and a club in the John out here, you know, you got all these assholes coming up to the urinal saying, yeah, dude, you see that chick I'm with, dude, man, she got big boobies, woo! And, you know, they always do stuff like that, you know? And, you know, oh, Jesus Christ, you got to shut up that kid. Let me put you on mute for a second, then I'll put you back there, 213. You need to give that kid a bottle or change that diaper-rashed kid's ass or something, seriously. I mean, it is continuously crying. Anyway, I mean, I'm sitting here in the John, you know, I mean, I'm draining the lizard after a night of drinking, and lo and behold, you know, some guy comes in, he does the same, he's like, yeah, man, you see these chicks out there, man? I mean, the guy was with a gangload of bimbos. I got to give him credit. He's got about 2 or 3 bimbos hanging off his Good Luck Johnson. You know, but he's in there in the damn bathroom saying, yeah, man, I'm fucking lucky tonight, dude. Woo! You know, just drunk, doing that stuff. And then I'm like, yeah, man, you look like you're going to get pretty lucky. What, you got, 3 ways going on, 4 ways? Like, yeah, man. You know, we're just BSing while we're draining the weasel here, right? I'm about to leave. This guy's like, hey, man, you're cool, dude. You know what I mean? He gives me like a handshake, and in his hand there's some kind of a little balled up plastic little cellophane something. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it, and I can tell right away. I can tell from the unbelievably pungent smell that it was tetrahydrocannabinol. So, the guy had already left the John. I went out, I followed him, and I asked him, like, right when he was at the bar before he started talking to his bimbos again, hey, what's this, man? Why are you giving me this? And the guy's drunk, he's like, hey, man, you're cool, man. You know what I'm saying? You're like, hey, I wish I had a father like you, man. Just and that's the end of it. Anyway, it's in my possession right now. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I have a poll on capitalistarmy.com, www.capitalistarmy.com. I had a poll on what I should do with it, and a lot of people are voting that I should actually consume it or expose myself to the tetrahydrocannabinol on 420. Now, according to this man that gave me this, because he was just, giving me this whole spiel about, yeah, man, you're like my dad. I wish my dad was like you. He told me it was like purple cream. That's the thing. The last thing he said, this is the best purple cream you're going to find in this town, man. So I am at odds here because I'm going to be perfectly honest. I'm a little curious about it. You know what I mean? Because, they're starting to legalize it mostly for medical uses. And I just went to the doctor, on Thursday, for being lightheaded. I had, heaviness in the chest, the whole 9 yards of feeling weak. I mean, I felt literally I've never felt so weak before. You get that weak feeling where you can't even really want to get out of the bed. I had that type of, that type of feeling. So I feel that, since I am somewhat of under a health situation, I think that requires me a certain level of latitude to consume this tetrahydrocannabinol in hopes of trying to help medicate my situation that I've got currently, which is high cholesterol and, supposedly, I've got, some potential blockages in my arteries. So, what I'm thinking is, what the hell? Let's go ahead and do it. I'm glad you brought it up, 213. So, did you vote? Did you happen to vote for the if I should do it or not?
Nah, baby, I ain't got no vote. Remember, I set up my account and said my name was that ass, and you wouldn't let me put an account on, baby. So I ain't even got an account on that website. I didn't even know about the poll. I just heard you talking about it during one of your shows. I think you should do it, Ghost. It'll calm me down a little bit. Hey, when it comes to the 28th, 29th of the month, man, I smoke me a little bud, and I forget the fridge is empty. I might get a munching, but that's what ramen noodle for, baby. That's what ramen noodle for.
Wait a minute, what are you talking about? At first of the month, what do you go score yourself some of this crap every first of the month? You take my tax dollars and go out and score this crap? Is that what you're saying to me?
Nah. Well, yeah, I do, baby. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about these white folks out there, man. They got all kinds of names for their bud. I had a white dude walk up to me at the corner store yesterday trying to sell me some shit called Tahitian tree. I don't know what Tahitian tree is. Tahitian tree is a fruit punch. That shit ain't no strain of marijuana, Ghost.
Wait a minute. How do you know so much about marijuana? You got a kid, for Christ's sake. I mean, shouldn't you be, saving the money that you're spending on tetrahydrocannabinol to, maybe get some diapers for that damn kid that's in the background? Probably got diaper rash from about 3 months ago. I mean, come on, man.
Nah, baby, it's called ghetto capitalism. I gotta make my money too.
Well, no, I'm just saying, shouldn't you be taking care of the kid, though? Shouldn't you be taking care of that kid that's continuously crying, is what I'm saying.
I take care of my kid, Ghost, just because he's crying don't mean he ain't taking care of. Yeah, I got multiple cans of Similac in the refrigerator right now, Ghost, even Similac for college. Even for college, baby, because he gets a little bit of gas sometimes. You got to drive him around in the car.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're a real scumbag, you know that?
I don't see how you say that, Ghost. I'm just trying to raise my family and be a capitalist.
You're
like
not
you,
raising
baby.
your family. I'm raising your family. I'm raising your freaking family. And every goddamn taxpayer that's listening within the sound of my voice is raising your family. What are you talking about?
Hey, baby, I take the check to the bank and I buy the food, baby. And I burnt my kid when he got gas, you know what I'm saying? So I'm taking care of my kid.
Jesus Christ, you
got some
sick
tax
bastard.
money taken out of your check. Just because you got a little bit of tax money taken out of your capital gains.
This is tax day, asshole. Hey, this is tax day. You shouldn't be rubbing it in the faces of people that they got to pay their taxes today, and you're sitting over here saying, yeah, first of the month, baby, yeah, I got this, I got that, I'm putting it out. I mean, this is not a day you should be rubbing it in the face of taxpayers that you're buying rib meat, all right? You're buying rib meat for your goddamn, shit-stained diapered kid and your baby daddy and whoever else is living there.
But I'm cutting the rib meat up. It's not like I'm giving him the bone, Coach. You know what I'm saying? You act like I just give my kid a rib with the bone and everything, and he's just laying in his crib gnawing on it. It ain't even like that, Ghost. I feed him with a fork and everything. He's got a little Diego fork. You know, go Diego, go. He got a little go Diego fork. I feed the rib meat with.
Christ. He's got a go Diego go. What is he, a Mexican? I thought you were black. What, you got a Mexican kid?
Nah, baby, he's just a big fan of Dora the Explorer. He just likes Dora the Explorer, that's all. And you know, Diego used to be on Dora the Explorer when it first came out.
Hey, what about Little Bill? Why aren't you showing your kid Little Bill? You know what I mean? You're black, right? Why don't you show him Little Bill?
Who's Little Bill, Ghost? I don't even know who that is.
You don't even know who Little Bill is? Are you kidding me? It's Little Bill. He's a little black kid animation, man. He's like, yeah, baby, we good over here, baby, in the hood. He's that guy.
Now, I know Little Wayne, Little Boosie, Little John, Little Mac.
No, he's not a rapper. I'm not talking about any rappers. I'm talking about an actual kids program. That it's Little Bill, you know, it's a little black kid that's animated or something, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that you should listen to it because I'm racist or anything. I'm just saying that maybe you could see a better level of person than you're adapting yourself currently to. You understand? Jesus Christ with the kid.
I mean, you must be. Is it like the Boondocks, Ghost? You ever watch that show? That show funny, Ghost. I sit up with my child sometimes late at night and watch the Boondocks.
You're showing your kid the Boondocks? Are you kidding me?
My baby don't know what's going on, and I say nigga around my kid all the time. So I mean, it's not like it's learning anything.
Oh man, come on! You're a disgrace. You're a disgrace if you're seriously serious about this.
No, baby, it's a term of endearment within my community.
All right, that's about enough of this asshole. Get him off. Get him off! Sitting over here making a mockery of everybody on tax day. It's tax day, for Christ's sake. This asshole has the audacity, of all places, California, to go out here and rub it in the faces of taxpayers that he's going to get money at the first of the month. What a disgrace. Unbelievable. 646-652-4869. Let's take some more callers here. Area code 404, you're on the air.
Hey, Ghost, what's going on, man? Billy D.
Hey, what's going on? It's Billy D. Williams in the house, man. What's going on, man?
Not much. Just had to call in. Wanted to get your thoughts. I know you'd already kind of mentioned it earlier, but the old credit rating issue.
Oh, yeah, S&P downgrading the debt of America, yep.
Yep, you knew it was coming. I mean, I knew that was coming, and the only thing, I mean, I hope you tooted your own horn earlier because, you called this a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, I was saying it earlier. I was like, hey, not just the retraction in the market, which I was calling throughout the whole broadcast since day one. I also talked about the gold and silver bubble that's going to continuously be going forward. I think for a good year and a half. I mean, we're flirting with $2,000 gold prices. We're already at, $43 and change in silver prices. Yeah, man, I mean, the only reason that I was able to prognosticate this is because it's just simple economics and finance, man. Nobody sticks to the fundamentals anymore. And in the end, if you stick to the fundamentals, it'll pay off in the end. Now we saw a chop off all around today. And the reason is people get scared whenever they see their whether their stock stocks in the Dow, S&P, or NASDAQ, whenever they see those things in the red, they get scared and they do some impulsive selling. But once again, you get the three keys to equity success: fundamentals, demand, and profit. And let me tell you, in the end, you're going to make some serious money, man. I mean, at any point in time in this helter-skelter market, all your stock that needs is some better-than-expected earnings, some news, some positive news, some kind of merger, some type of acquisition. And before you know it, your goddamn stock is going through the roof. I made the comparison to a lot of stocks that has happened throughout the past couple of months. One in particular was Green Mountain Coffee Roasters, which when it announced that it was putting one of its products in Starbucks coffee houses all over the country, the stock increased almost like plus 50%, like 50+%. One day jump, 50+%. This is the new market we're dealing with, and unfortunately, you're going to have to hold some stocks, and if you calculate it right, you're going to see one of these humongous jumps in your equity. And when it does, it's up to you whether you're going to, sell it off and pay the capital gains tax, or hold on to it and, maybe put it up for, some kind of collateral, whatever the case might be,
Right, exactly. That's what I was just about to say. The question is, do you sell off or do you hold on to them? And obviously the option's up to the individual who's going in it, whether they see potential long-term deals, or do you say, I'll cut my losses right now, wait for it, and try to predict where the bottom hits, and then try to buy back in or do whatever you're going to do. But yeah, that I had to laugh about that one guy's name. Good Luck Johnson.
Oh, man, are you kidding me? I mean, this guy actually won an election in Nigeria. Well, they're not very happy about it, but he won an election with the name Good Luck Johnson. I mean, this is something that asshole douchebags across America are probably naming their private parts.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Good Luck Johnson. Are you kidding me? And this guy's actually a president. I mean, our foreign dignitaries are going to have to go out here and give this guy respect and say, hey, Mr. Good Luck Johnson, how you doing? I mean, give me a break.
Yeah, well, better than, I guess, Barack Obama, but that's just my opinion.
Welcome to America, man, and not only that, welcome to the world. We have to advance from this, and it just doesn't look good. That's why I'm advocating that capitalists, have to get together, man. We have to, communicate with one another. We have to expand the idea of capitalism throughout the international community, because if we don't, I think that the primitive minds of the world that seem to be dominating, and the only reason I'm saying they're dominating is because you're seeing a lot of people dying for stupidity, for presidents, for religious nonsense, for territorial boundaries, for and just nonsense. I mean, when we continuously hear this on a habitual basis, I think that the simpleton, primitive minds of humanity are winning, and this is not what people who understand that civility is what progresses humanity as a whole. This is not good for us that want civility, who want to progress humanity beyond this planet rock.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, you think you'd want people to progress and everything, but then you got a lot of people that they'd just be happy living like animals and dogs for the rest of their life, fighting with each other and fighting over scraps all the time. They're happy with just the little bit that they got, and that's as long as someone else is doing it for them, and they just get to sit there all day. It doesn't bother them one bit.
I mean, it's just unreal, man. And this is why capitalists need to start taking notice that, look, we better start asserting our authority before some other kind of ridiculous, I don't know, Mao Zedong type idealism starts implementing itself throughout the international community. Because remember, the foundation of Mao Zedong's Red Book, the whole reason why they've been able to bamboozle the Chinese people into believing this, or at least the majority of them, is the idea that that in the Red Book, Mao argues that the true essence of humanity is peasantry. And that in peasantry, humanity can, come to grips with their true emotions and their true artistic values and so on and so forth. That's why I'm saying that this is why China is, and they're not necessarily China, but the Chinese government is the biggest threat to not only capitalism but through the global order in general.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't it sound like a whole lot like the hippie movement where, you know, they sit there and say, well, you know, to really know who you are, you know, you need to give up a lot of your materialistic items and all this stuff. I mean, it sounds a whole like that type of movement, and you know, all these people are living so pure and free. Look at them; they don't own anything. You know, they barter with each other and they give each other. You know, they go and they live on communes and all this stuff.
Yeah, no kidding, and not to mention that they like to believe that they're so pious, when in actuality, what people that advocate this type of bureaucratic system, this type of collective idea, the people that advocate it are exchanging material goods, which they'll get in the end anyway, for power. They want to be able to influence people through the bureaucratic system. It's all about power. That's why I despise bureaucratic institutionalism. I understand that it's a necessary mechanism for civilization, but, you know, what these bureaucrats have manipulated the masses into believing, this is why democracy, as far as everybody has the right to vote, is proving itself not necessarily a functioning application. What we need to realize that, yeah, voting does work, but there needs to be people that are politically responsible and understand what's going on and what these damn bureaucrats are doing in their name, so that, you know, we either elect them or unelect them, and we do it without them trying to look good with a nice smile on their face or trying to get cosmetic surgery so they can be more appealing to the women demographic and the soccer moms, these bimbos that are going up here like Sarah Palin, you know, showing tits and ass, and they get elected into the governor's office. We need to stop that crap. We need a politically competent masses. And let me tell you, it's not going to happen in the general masses. It's going to happen with the capitalists. And, you know, it's funny, you know, the leftists that are so adamant about utilizing Marx's idea, the last sentence in the Communist Manifesto, which is the workers of the world unite. On the contrary, these leftists that are in power, the leftists that are implementing themselves throughout the international community, are against the worker. They want people to be dumbed down and simplistic sheep so that they, the bureaucratic system, can be the sole totalitarian power to these sheep, to these people that will be so dependent upon them. And that's what I'm against. I don't want to be dependent upon some bureaucratic system. I mean, just look at what it's done to Japan, the poor Japanese people.
Well, I mean, just look at what it did to the stock market today. I mean, you get all types of drops because our credit ratings for shit. I mean, what was it? And I can't do the exact quote, but I can paraphrase it at least. I know Thomas Jefferson said way back then, even that, you know, democracy works. Essentially, democracy works until the people realize, or the politicians realize, that basically all you got to do is, you know, sell votes. You know, just tell them, hey, look, you know, I'll give you however much on your welfare check plus, you know, another $10, or I'll give you, you know, additional 5% on your Medicaid. I'll give you additional this or that, and then, you know, then all it is just pandering to everybody.
That's exactly what it is, and that's what I've been saying all along. And capitalists, and let me tell you, if they raise taxes on us, I mean, you know, what incentive does any American have to vote any longer, for Christ's sake? I mean, if they raise taxes on us, I mean, why exactly should anybody go out and work? I mean, you know, I don't know if you've been filling out your taxes. I did. I mean, I fill out my personal taxes, and you know, I let some attorneys and some accountants do the corporation in my business. But I mean, if you go through the form, I mean, all these deductions for losers. I mean, you know, what is it? Earned income tax credit. I mean, what the hell is that? I mean, you know, that seemed, if you read the red tape around that seemed to me like, hey, here's an extra couple of $100 if you just happen to have worked, you know, like 10 hours this year. Thanks a lot. Here you go. And it's just, I mean, come on, man.
Yep. Or you got the 213 tax credit, the one where basically, you know, the more kids you shit out, the more money you get. So.
No, Jesus Christ, what was it? 3,500 this year or some shit? What was that? 3,300? I forgot what it was.
I can't even look. I don't have any kids. I'm not planning on having any kids because it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, man, don't have them.
Nope.
Don't have them.
But anyways, Ghost, I just had to chime in on this. So,
no,
show, man.
Please, believe me, I understand where you're coming from, man. This is disgraceful what's happening here. Not to mention that S&P downgrading the debt of America, it just goes to show what I've been saying all along. First of all, I knew that there was going to be a contraction in the market, but little did I know was it going to be because of the fact that, these assholes in Washington can't get their act together and figure out that not only do we have to cut spending, but because these idiots put us in the position that we're in today, we have to increase our debt limit. And these idiots in Washington are playing politics with this. And this right here, and mark my words, if these idiots in Washington cannot increase the debt limit, this literally is the collapse of America. And I'm not trying to hyper-sensationalize it. I'm not trying to sound like some spin Keynesian liberal, but these assholes in Washington have put us in a spiral that we have to do it. And if we don't, the credibility of American economy is down the tubes, and everybody is positioning themselves now to be the number one economy. Even dumbass socialists, the European Union, I mean, they're still positioning themselves. China, all kinds of economies are trying to position themselves as the new economic leader. And this right here, the defaulting on our debt, is one thing that, it's the official staple. It's the stamping of the end of America, in my opinion.
Ghost, I tend to be an optimist on everything, and I didn't want to have to say it, but I think you're right when you said a while back that there's a potential double dip recession coming. I'm starting to see it now.
Absolutely, and you know what's really sad, Billy? You know what's really sad is that capitalists are going to have to work twice as hard so that they can not only fight inflation, which is the devaluing of the dollar, but the increase in commodities and energy prices, man. I mean, we have to work double time, overtime, and then you got these assholes in Washington claiming that they're going to increase taxes on us. Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Unreal.
But hey, we'll get through it, just like everything else.
That's right, man. Keep capitalizing, man.
All right. Take it easy, man.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. Billy D. Williams right there, an avid listener, an avid caller. Definitely having some genuine concern about, the potential double-dip recession that is looming in America. And I've been calling it for a long period of time, and it's definitely a serious situation, folks. Anyway, we were talking about how Ivory Coast rain season is about to begin, and because Laurent Gbagbo didn't want to step down as president of the Ivory Coast, there has been this unrest of disgusting proportions of just absolute human butchery that's been happening ever since the fall. They have since captured Gbagbo last week. They're trying to transition into a new level of civility, but let me tell you, there's still a lot of bad blood. There's still a lot of people that got slaughtered out there in the Ivory Coast, and it's a serious, sick situation, folks. Anyway, rain season begins, and no crops are planted out there because of all the civil unrest that was happening, because of all the fighting. These people may go hungry because they did not plant their crops. Unbelievable. Anyway, I want to move on to another subject matter. We talked a little bit about how Match.com was being sued by some, hard-up cougar or something because she got date raped by somebody that she met on Match.com. And I criticized the whole ordeal because I don't understand why exactly Match.com is responsible for her getting date raped. That would be like holding the bar responsible, for, getting date raped there or, getting a roofie slipped in your drink. That's like, suing the, it's stupid. It's just stupid. Look, woman, all right? You made a bad choice, all right? What you should have done is you should have been one of these little background searches. They got a whole bunch of these background search websites now, folks. Literally, if you're on one of these dating sites because you're lonely. I mean, let's be honest. The reason you're on there, you're lonely between your legs. You know what I'm saying? You want a decent time. You're sick and tired of coming home and jerking off and watching ESPN Sports Center all night. You understand? You actually want to go out and do what you need to do is go into one of these damn background search sites and make sure that anybody that you are potentially going to meet out here in the real world, outside the internet world, isn't some asshole who is a sex offender or may chop your goddamn head off. I don't understand why Match.com is bearing responsibility for this. Well, anyway, Match.com has said now that if you happen to register for their site and you want to use their service, they are now going to put every name that's put in through their service through some type of a damn sex offender database. So now everybody is going to be monitored and tracked and make sure, Jesus Christ. All because of one woman that doesn't want to take personal responsibility, you know what I mean? That, doesn't want to, do whatever. It just makes me sick to my stomach. And it's not the fact that, who cares, Ghost? It's just a dating site. No, this is just a slippery slope. Do you understand what I'm saying? I appreciate my internet freedom. I appreciate, having the ability to be free on this fiber optically connected world we call the internet. And it's things like this that, basically provide a slippery slope for regulation, for monitoring, for lack of privacy, the whole 9 yards. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, if you happen to, go on Match.com, or if you're going to be a member of that site, you're now going to be subjected to some search through some sex offender database. All right, so, here we go down the slippery slope of privacy. And moreover, we got Yahoo today announcing that it's going to extend its data retention from 3 months to 18 months. So let's say you got yourself a Yahoo account and, I don't know, you're exchanging, emails with that affair that you met on Match.com, married people, all right? You're exchanging those emails, with your little rendezvous. Well, even if you close the account now, they're going to have all the crap that you did on record for 18 months after you close your account. 18 months as opposed to 3 months, which was the usual going time frame for data retention for Yahoo. Seriously. It's just disgusting, man. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable, man. Oh, Jesus Christ. So once again, folks, let's go ahead and do a review here. Match.com is going to begin screening its users against the sex offender database, which is a slippery slope. Who the hell knows? And lo and behold, Yahoo is going to extend its data retention from 3 months to 18 months. So if you happen to be having some kind of internet correspondence with some love affair of yours, believe me, it's going to be in the Yahoo database. All right? Yahoo database for 18 months, and that's all there is to it. This is just disgusting, man. This is horrible, Just unbelievably horrible. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? More online news. The FBI has shut down all gambling websites in America. That's right. If you happen to have been, one of these people that goes to these online poker sites and you're actually making yourself a coin or two on there, or, you've lost your ass, whatever the case might be, you're now no longer able to connect to these online poker sites because the FBI has completely seized, any type of fiber optic transference to these types of websites. It is illegal. It is now illegal, or it's been illegal, but now they're cracking down on the American offshoots of these websites. And, it's all the major ones with all the stupid poker faces. Let me tell you something. I'm sick of poker. Poker was going somewhere until these idiots that, put their faces on ESPN started making their own fraternity about it. And, in my opinion, truth be told, all these assholes that play these big, money, oh, look, poker after dark, there's $1 million on the table, or there's $1.5 million on the table. Truth be told, in my view, these idiots are giving themselves the money back at the end of the night anyway. Nobody's keeping that money. You want to know why? Because they're getting paid to be on the show. Do you understand this? That's what people need to realize when they look at television, all right? Those assholes that are playing poker are already they're being paid on the show. So, all these stupid big bets and these dumbass, bad beats and all these bluffs, it's a bunch of garbage. All right? It's an utter bunch of garbage. And it's a big fraud. And not to mention that these gambling sites, especially these poker sites, they're manipulated, in my opinion, also. These are not genuine shuffles that you're getting out here. I mean, if you do a YouTube search on any of these websites, PokerStars, Full Tilt, all the good ones, all the ones that are shoved down our hole, you are going to see so many bad beats that, just completely defy mathematical statistics. You will see ridiculous nonsense, that you would never see in a regular casino. And the reason that they can do this and get away with it is because there is no commission, there is no governing body that is basically overseeing these online poker sites. You know where these poker sites are coming from? They're coming from some goddamn Indian reservation off the coast of Costa Rica. Seriously. Seriously, it's off the coast of Costa Rica. Some stupid idiot Indian is actually, got a couple of computers in some stupid, two-story house somewhere, and there's the online gambling casino. I'm not joking. And do you think that the algorithms that are given out to people are genuine? It's already come out that, there's been fraudulent activity when it comes to online poker. There's been fraudulent. So, the FBI cracking down on this, I think it's a good job for the FBI, in my personal opinion. And in my view, out here in Texas, we're considering putting on the ballot legalizing gambling out here in Texas. And I'm all for it. I'm all for legalizing gambling out here in Texas, because if anybody feels cheated, and even in Las Vegas, even in Atlantic City, if you feel cheated, you can actually go to a gambling commission and actually, see if there was any kind of nefarious cheatery or any kind of activity that prohibited you from having a fair shot at, gambling. You can actually appeal to somebody. You know what I mean? You can't appeal to nobody in a damn online poker room that's ran by Chief Slapaho up the coast of Costa Rica. You kidding me? But no, man, you got this imbecilic asshole on one of these articles that I read about this crap. All right. Yeah, no, I know they're not getting busted for cheating. I'm just saying they got busted for, basically manipulating the financial transfer of funds from financial institutions in America to their offshore account in Costa Rica. So, yeah, okay, I know that's why they're getting shut down. But I'm telling you why they should have been shut down all along. And they should have been shut down all along because they're frauds, they're fraudulent. And as a matter of fact, if you're one of these gambling addict assholes that literally, ruined your life over this online poker thing, man, you should be, looking at litigious matters towards these faces of poker that, are advertising these illegal activities, in my opinion. This is my view, you know what I'm saying? Because, I'm going to be completely honest. You look at these big names that are, the faces of these poker sites. These people are getting paid millions of dollars so that they could be the face of these online gambling poker sites. They're making more money marketing their faces than they are actually poker playing. So that's why poker, folks, is, flushed down the toilet as any kind of legitimate avenue of sporting event. because, let's be honest, it's become a stupid fraternity, and I hate every single one of those poker players because they don't look like poker players. You know what I think of when I think of a poker player? I think of some Billy Badass that's got a hell of a stare down, that ain't afraid, to kick some ass if necessary if he thinks he's being cheated on. Somebody that, got some gold on, blinging a little bit, flashing something, you know what I mean? Pulling out wads of cash. Somebody who looks like a gambler. But none of these assholes in the poker world look like a gambler. They look like idiot douchebags that literally are begging prostitutes to play with their wee-wee. There's no type of element of cool whatsoever from any of these personalities in the poker world. None of them. None. I wouldn't want to be any one of these assholes. All right? They're just a bunch of fat, bloated, jelly-ass, degenerate gamblers. All right? And I hate all of them. All these idiots that have put their faces on the TV because they're poker-related, they're frauds, in my opinion. You can tell them I said that. All right? They're frauds. You know as well as I do, Phil Ivey, that you make way more money putting your face is, hey, look at me, Phil Poker. You make 30, 40 million. Who the hell knows how much money you're making doing this? Because, not to mention, Phil Ivey's got interest. He's got points. He's got ownership in Full Tilt. Oh, yeah, bet you didn't know that. Yeah, so he's making all this money, doing all this other crap, and yet he's still giving the image as if he's making all this money playing poker. I mean, it's a fraud. It's fictitious. It's stupid. It's utterly stupid. So, the FBI, I'm glad you took these goddamn, poker sites down. The next people you should go after is these assholes who were peddling it the whole time. And then you should investigate the whole goddamn poker world and see whether or not these little poker after dark, these little poker cash games are even legitimate. I'm telling you, they get. This is what I heard through the grapevine, folks. Somebody in the production of these little programs. The word is that they give all each other the money back at the end of the night, baby. Yeah. Yeah, I'm all in. I'm $1 million. I'm all in. My own cash. I'm all in with a deuce 7. I'm all in. They give each other the money back at the end of the night, man, because they get paid to be on that program. Do you understand? When you're on TV, you get paid. You understand that? I mean, you don't just do that for free. They're not going to just go in with cameras and then just peek in on a poker game. No, you get paid. All right. You get paid when you're on TV. And that's what's happening. And I think that the poker world should be ashamed of itself. Seriously. All of you. All you assholes in the poker world. Phil Ivey, that asshole that thinks he's Jesus. Greenstein, that goofy-looking bastard. Hey, Greenstein, I thought that you were donating all your winnings to charity. I thought you were so filthy rich that I just going to donate it to charity. What happened to that shit? All you scumbags. Phil Hellmuth, man, you haven't won crap since 1991, you stupid piece of garbage. All these scumbags, all of them, they're frauds. And you can tell them I said that. They're pieces of crap. So good going, FBI. This you're doing something. Instead of busting Tommy Chong for selling bongs on the internet, you should have been busting these ass clowns for defrauding and fleecing the American people. That's what you should have been doing there, FBI, you milky lickers. Anyway, I just opened up a beer here. I opened up another St. Pauli girl. Let me tell you, I like this beer, man. It ain't bad, baby. It is not bad. But anyway, once again, FBI shuts down the big online poker sites. All right, they've shut down PokerStars, Full Tilt, all those, and you know what? Rightfully so. And there's an article out here that states that people are like, are pissed off about this. That I usually go online every Sunday and make money for my kids. That I can make money for my kids on PokerStars, baby. How am I going to feed my kids? Well, if you're that confident in your poker skills, why don't you go out to Atlantic City? Why don't you go out to Vegas asshole, and go out there and actually earn it in real life. You want to know why? Because you're a chump. You're not a real poker player. You're a flake. All right? Anyway. 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. I want to talk a little bit about this goddamn primitive royal wedding. I'm getting a little sick of hearing about the royal wedding. I mean, this is another primitive idea that we just need to let go already. All right? That's enough of the royal wedding. I am sick of hearing about the royal wedding. I'm sick of it. All right? It's enough of this crap. We don't need to care about this stupid prince and this broad that he was able to nail. All right, we don't care. All right, and what really pissed me off is that I watch Varney and Company. This stupid little limey bastard, this old prostate infected limey that is on Fox Business right before the opening bell. And this stupid limey, he had me fooled for a little bit. He actually said that, hey, I'm coming from a former socialist country, and I don't like England, I love America, and all this crap. And then today, this asshole limey, the true English genetic defect in his brain, came out and said, I think there's nothing wrong with everybody, getting all uptight about the royal wedding. Are you kidding me? The royal wedding is a dumb, primitive concept, all right? Any of you women that are creaming in your pants saying, oh, I just wish that would happen to me and I could get a prince and he could take me away and sweep me off my feet and wake up, bimbos, all right? It ain't going to happen. These are primitive concepts, all right? Prince Charming, it's garbage. Anything related to feudalism is tied to bloodshed in humanity. Do you understand this? Bloodshed in humanity. Why don't you go look up the royal family? Why don't you go look up feudalism? It did nothing. It did nothing for humanity. So I'm sick and tired of hearing these goddamn limeys every single goddamn day up until this wedding. You say, April 29th. Who gives a shit, all right? Excuse my French. Who gives a crap, all right? Who gives a crap? I'm sick and tired of these limeys sitting over here thinking that, oh, yes, the royals, and you're royal. You people are primitive-minded jerks, all right? You people are stupid for sitting here and bowing down to some stupid, crustated, wrinkled old queen. Literally. I mean, just give me a break. Give me a break. Anyway, I know I've been talking a lot of garbage about the royal family as of late. The royal family's actually contacted me, and they actually want a rebuttal on this program, and unfortunately I have to give it to them. But before I do, I want to let everybody know that if you're one of these idiots getting a hard-on for this royal wedding, I mean, really, grow the hell up, all right? Please. Can you please grow the hell up? This is not, the 17th, 16th century anymore, assholes, all right? And even if it was, you'd be a peasant. You understand? You'd be in rags, that literally smell like dog garbage or dog crap. You'd be, wandering around the lands of pagans and basically probably getting arrested for robbing a turnip out of the noble gardens, and yet you idiots still want to, throw this feudalistic garbage on some kind of a pedestal. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. But anyway, we've got somebody on the horn here, basically representing the royal family, and wanting some kind of a say-so on the broadcast to my criticism. So, without any further ado, I think we got Bartholomew on the horn there. Are you there, sir?
Oh, yes. All you Yanks out here better remember that we created your country. Don't you understand? King George allowed your little pissing ground of a country to exist. And now all you have to bow down to the royals Now all you have to bow down to the Queen, and that's all you have to do, mate. Because, you know, this is imperialism, mate. Don't you understand, mate? You know, the world wouldn't have been nothing without the royal family, mate. Do you understand? You need to bow down to the Queen, and we need to bow down to the Prince and Kate Middleton. I've got nothing else to say. You know, you peasants out there in America make me sick. You Yanks, you're lucky we still, you know, go out there and back you up when you're out there causing a ruckus out there in the international community. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm Bartholomew. I'm out of here. Yeah, just hang up the phone, please.
All right, just get this idiot off. Get him off! Get him off! Anyway. 646-652-4869. I'm sorry. I hate the Royals. I'm sorry. I don't like them. It's primitive-minded crap. We need to move away from that. You know what I mean? You know, they need to, you know, tell the Royals, hey, your services as being moochers of the English people are no longer needed. All right? So now why don't you go back to Bavaria if they still want you and get the hell out of here? You know, that's what I think they should say, but no. Oh, it's a fairy tale wedding, isn't it? Oh, isn't that great? Isn't that great? It's a royal wedding. What a nice day for a white wedding, yeah. Start again, yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm getting down there. I'm sorry, I've been drinking Crown Royal Black here. I'm sipping on some beers here, for Christ's sake. I mean, come on, you got to give me some credit. You got to give me some lackadaisical approach there when it comes to attempting to fulfill this broadcast in somewhat of a cohesive and sober manner. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, folks, you know what time it is. We're in effect in the house. All right. You're listening to True Capitalist Radio. I am your host, the man they call Ghost. I'm going to go ahead and take this chug here of this beer, folks. Cheers to everybody out there. I know it's only Monday, but hey, we're capitalists, and God damn it feels great to be a capitalist and not some feudalistic, royalty-worshipping piece of three-toothed British crap. Cheers to everybody out there, baby. Cheers. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, keep going. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Anyway, we got 28 minutes left in the broadcast, folks. We were talking a little bit about the royal wedding. That's right, the royal wedding, but we're going to go ahead and break away from that. Everybody knows what I feel about the royal wedding. I think it's a bunch of garbage, and oh, no, I don't think that we should be attending. And, you know, to be honest with you, the royal wedding just kind of makes me, it kind of makes me sick. You know, it kind of makes me want to puke up nasty chicken grease and corn oil and cream of wheat with 5-day-old cereal and stomach plasma. As a matter of fact, it's coming up right now. You see these damn Royals? You see what the Royals are doing to me, for Christ's sake? Goddamn Royals. Anyway, 646-652-4869 is the number to call. I want to hear from you, folks. All right, what do you think about everything that's going on here in the world, for Christ's sake? Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about Nicolas Cage, folks. Oh, man. I mean, couldn't a downfall happen to a better person? Besides John Edwards. I'm glad John Edwards is on suicide watch from what I've read, but Nicolas Cage, some pompous-ass bastard that, let's be honest, he didn't deserve all the kudos and all the money that he made. I mean, he's one of those actors that's the same freaking character. He's like... one of those idiots, you see him in one movie, he's the same guy, the same voice, the same stupid little, shit-eating grin, the same, hair-plugged, receding hairline. It's the same guy. There's no diversification in his acting whatsoever. I mean, why and how he got all these parts, well, it explains because he was Francis Ford Coppola's nephew. But besides that, I mean, why exactly, individuals in the Hollywood community kept giving this guy roles is beyond me. Well, anyway, folks, Nicolas Cage has since gone bankrupt. He's gone bankrupt. He's made over, $100 million in all the movies that he's made. He's bankrupt. He was out there in New Orleans here this past weekend getting sauced with his wife. They were sitting out there. There's no... in New Orleans, I believe it's still this way. I don't know how it is now. It used to be this way. 24-hour drinking. There's no last call for alcohol in New Orleans. So you can be drinking all night. Anyway, him and the wife were so sauced and hammered that they were actually in front of some house that they thought that it was theirs. I mean, Nicolas Cage was about to go into a house. He was like, "Hey, this is my house. Go in there." And the wife's like, "No, it's not our house." I mean, they had this big spectacle in the middle of the street. They were fighting, and apparently, according to reports, Nicolas Cage got a little physical. The police were called out here. They tried to restrain Nicolas Cage, and unfortunately, Nicolas Cage started getting a little jumpy with him. He's like, "Do you know who I am?" The typical, bravado that comes out of these ass clowns that are from Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? They "Oh, do you know who I am? I'm Nicolas Cage." Who? Who cares? All right, who cares, Nick Cage? What the hell have you done? All right. Oh yeah, 8mm. Okay, that was a decent film. Okay, what else? Huh? What else? Con Air? Okay, great. Yeah, all right. Whatever. I mean, you suck. You suck. Anyway, he got arrested for domestic violence and public intoxication, so on and so forth in New Orleans, folks. You should go out and see this guy's mugshot. It looks beautiful. It looks funny. You know what I mean? It looks unbelievably funny, this guy. Oh, man. Oh, man, are you kidding me? He looks like a complete and utter haggard. You know what I mean? A complete and utter disgusting haggard. I mean, what a waste of human flesh. How in the hell can you burn through $100 million there, Cage? You want to know how you do it? You were a pompous ass, all right? You thought you could just buy anything. Like, I'm Nick Cage. I can just buy anything. Don't have to worry about my finances because I can always make another movie. Yes. You stupid scumbag. I'm glad that you're on your knees, when life is giving you a kick to the ass. Because you deserve it, Nick Cage, all right? Jesus Christ, and get a better dentist, too, while you're at it, Nick Cage. Your teeth look just disgusting. You know what I mean? They look like little chiclets hanging onto your gums, for Christ's sake. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, is that appealing to women or something? Huh? Chiclet teeth? Is that somehow, something on women's radar nowadays? Is that why everybody's like, "Oh, Nick Cage and chiclet teeth"? Jesus Christ. Can't believe this crap. Anyway, let's take some calls here. All right. 646-652-4869 is the number to call. We got area code 408 on the line. What's going on?
Yeah, Ghost, this is Nicolas Cage. What are you doing?
This is Nicolas Cage.
No, I'm just playing, Ghost. It's Goofy Bones.
I was about to give you the riot act, man. Are you kidding me? I hate Nicolas Cage, man. That guy's a scumbag.
Oh, man, I hate him, too. I hate his stupid, when he gets mad, he has that little, "Yeah, well, I'm going to do what I want to do." Or, that stupid snarl that he has. I just want to punch him in the face. That's what I want to do.
And I want to know who's giving this guy all these damn roles, for Christ's sake. I mean, this guy burned through $100 million of his own personal money. He burned it. He has nothing to show for it.
3 Disney movies. You know how much these Disney movies make? Seriously.
What a scumbag.
He is. He's one of these pathetic actors that think that everything is just given to him. Now, you take away all their fame. No, let's see the real Nicolas Cage. That's what I would like to see.
Now, we're seeing it now, man. Have you seen this goddamn mugshot of this damn scrubbed-up-looking haggard bastard? Horrible.
You know what he should have did? He should have took his Asian wife, pounded her in the bushes. If that's not my house, then well, fuck me. Come on. Play it simple.
He has an Asian wife? I didn't know the wife was Asian.
Oh, look her up. She's a little hotcake.
What did he get one of these imports from Thailand, Bangkok, or something? I mean,
Probably.
Or is she from here?
I don't know where she's from. I don't do no research on those ghosts. I don't care if they're married or not. I just find.
No, I hear you, but I'm just saying that you think Nicolas Cage. This just goes to show you, no matter how much money you got, no matter what movie you're in, you still got to act like every other schmuck, and I wouldn't be surprised if he mailed order this egg roll eating bimbo that he's got going on over here that allegedly he gave some physical altercation to.
Yeah, fucking crazy.
Man, unbelievable, man. But it couldn't happen to a better person, in my opinion. Nick Cage, if you're listening in with your little chiclet ass teeth, you deserve it. All right. You deserve it. You're a piece of garbage. You're not an actor, all right? Why do you think Travolta, even though it's come out that this guy's patronizing bathhouses allegedly, and got cabana boys at 3 at a time? Why do you think that people are still, oh well, okay, whatever, and just kind of looking away because he can act, because he has some goddamn skill, all right? Travolta's got some skill. What does Cage have, man? He's just. God, I hate that piece of crap. This couldn't happen to a better person, is all I got to say.
You know what? I'm gonna say the only movie good that piece of shit ever did was Raising Arizona.
You like Raising Arizona?
Oh yeah, that's the only best role he ever played. Cause that's him in a role, a stupid hick. From Arizona. That describes him right there, Ghost.
Unbelievable. And well, I didn't really like Raising Arizona. I don't like Nicolas Cage's movies. I mean, I liked 8mm, but I think that they could have thrown a monkey in 8mm, and probably we would have done a hell of a movie because I mean, he had a supporting cast, a decent director. I mean. I'm sorry. I think Nick Cage, all this bad luck couldn't happen to a better guy.
Yeah, great guy. I just wish, you know what, Ghost? Before that, him and his little Asian persuasion, they were yelling at people in a tattoo parlor. I don't know if you've seen that, though. But
no, I haven't seen it. What, is that on YouTube or something?
Yeah, it was on YouTube and TMZ. Somebody said, like, hey, like, who gives a fuck who you are, or something like that. And then Nicolas Cage blows up like, you motherfucker, how dare you?
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? I mean, he's actually picking fights out here in the Big East.
Oh, man. He was drunk. He was drunker than shit. He was so drunk that a guy could have had sex with him. He wouldn't have even known. That's how drunk he was. For real. Look at his mugshot. Jesus.
Oh, man. I mean, come on, for Christ's sake. You're supposed to be Nick Cage, right? First of all, what are you doing in a tattoo shop yelling at losers? All right? And secondly, how drunk do you have to be to not know where your house is, for Christ's sake? I mean, look, sometimes I go to cities in America, and I stay at a hotel. I mean, I don't care how drunk I'm getting. I know where the hotel's at, for Christ's sake. I mean, how drunk do you have to be? You know that there was some snorting some, probably some extracurricular drug activities there, in my view. You just can't get that drunk.
Yeah, they probably infested their nose with the evil white powder, but that's America for you, Ghost. What more can you ask for? You give these people a chance, and look at what they give you in return, Nicolas Cage.
That's right.
This is the American dream right there, Nicolas Cage. That would be a great Lifetime movie.
Yeah, don't give them any ideas, man. They're going to do it. They're going to be like Nicolas Cage, The Downfall, this Lifetime movie. Seriously, man, it's not a joke. These idiots will do it, and you know what? The bimbos will watch it. They'll be like, "Oh, I like Nicolas Cage. Oh my God, he was such a hunk with his chiclet teeth and his receding hairline and his doll hair. Oh, it was so great, wasn't it? Give me a break."
Oh man, I tell
unbelievable.
But just leave me on the line, Ghost. I just wanted to comment on that stupid piece of monkey trash. That's what he is, man. I mean, come on. For real, you don't know where your house is, and you're an actor? Are you serious?
Yeah, no kidding.
Was he trying to win an Academy Award with that role that he played? My God.
He was a moron, man. It couldn't happen to a better person.
This is where you need the reality TV people, because that is what I want to see on TV. I don't want to see Snooki and these stupid fucking Greedos that look like they have blockheads from Gumby as their hair. You know, I don't want to see these idiots on TV. I want to see real life drunk actors being the real person that they are. Pieces of shit. But anyway, don't let me hold your show. Just leave me on line.
No problem, man.
On the way to a date's house because I got to give her a bone.
Yeah, well, good luck to that, and make sure to wear rubber, man. All right, man?
I always wear rubber, Ghost, because, you know, I don't want to have any kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no kids, man. No kids.
No
all right?
kids. All right, Ghost.
All right, man.
Much love.
Thank you very much. That's Goofy Bone, ladies and gentlemen. Goofy Bone, he's on his way to Date's house, supposedly, to give her a bone. And all that good stuff. Anyway, before Goofy Bone came on the line, we were talking about Nick Cage and how he is basically falling off the wagon, literally. I mean, he got arrested in the weekend, allegedly for disturbing the peace, disturbing the public, drunkenness, domestic violence issues. The list goes on. If you look at his mugshot, the guy looks just completely disgusted, completely pathetic. I mean, just a complete waste of human life, old Nicolas Cage, and it's just unfortunate, you know. But it couldn't happen to a better person, like I said. Anyway, let me move on to another subject matter. I found this article rather disturbing. There was an article out of Reuters that, you know, they take a poll out of baby boomer mothers. Baby boomer mothers. Well, anyway, more than half of the baby boomer mothers polled actually are taking care of their grown children, you know. And in the article, they want so much credit for doing such a thing. You know, they talk about, oh, I got to take care of my grown kids, and some of them got kids. And in the article, they talk about, I remember when I was 18, I was fully independent, and I went out and I didn't want to live with my parents. Well, you know, what it fails to mention in the article was that there was a lot more jobs at that time, baby boomer mama. And for you to sit over here and make some kind of critical analysis because your kid needs your help, the reason your kid needs your help is because of your stupid, politically, economically, and socially irresponsible ass leaving the type of legacy that we're seeing in modern-day America now there, baby boomer mama. All right? I'm serious. Baby boomer mothers, it's a damn... let me read you the damn title of the Reuters report. It says, many U.S. baby boomer mums support grown kids, poll. And in the article, it talks about over half of the damn baby boomers in America out here are actually taking care of grown children, and they want kudos for this when it's actually their fault. Their political, social, and economic complacency, their irresponsibility is what caused this situation. And they want kudos because, oh, when I was 18, I was out on my own. I went out and got my own job. I got my own place, and I did, yeah. Well, there are no jobs, baby boomer mom. All right? You forced your children into getting $80,000 in debt before they even entered into the job force because they have a goddamn college student loan, for Christ's sake. And then these damn baby boomer mothers have the audacity to sit over here and talk garbage? Huh? I'm taking care of my grown kid. You know, when I was younger, I didn't do that. I was responsible. That's because you had more economic opportunity, you ungrateful baby boomer piece of trash. You know? I find it funny that all these remedies to the so-called spending cuts that are out here in American politics today, they all have to do with somehow allowing people 55 years of age or older to somehow not be affected by any cuts that are happening to Medicaid or Medicare or Social Security. I mean, haven't you noticed that? Even in that dumbass idiot Paul Ryan's little opposition to Obama's little budget plan, Paul Ryan even gives people ages 55 years of age or over a pass. These are the people that caused this garbage. You know, I'm sick and tired of hearing the Democrats, and not only that, the Republicans are doing this too, that, seniors are going to have to, they're going to have to save up for their medication, and seniors are going to have to, and seniors are going to do that. You idiots, seniors are the ones with the most money in this country, you idiots, all right? Seniors are the ones that are paying the less taxes. Seniors are the ones that have the capital. And yet, both of these parties want to make you believe that, those seniors are going to be out in the streets and not going to be able to support themselves, not going to be able to... I mean, don't you understand that the baby boomers are the ones with the wealth right now, folks? All right? That's them. They're the ones with the wealth. So don't be fooled whenever you got these goddamn politicians talking garbage that, if we do this, our seniors and our seniors and our seniors, they're the ones with the money. Why do you think they have the ability to support a grown child, folks? The latest poll that comes out that says over half of the baby boomer mothers are supporting grown kids. And they want so much kudos for it. They want so much kudos that they were on their own when they were younger at 18. But they don't want to take into consideration that it's their fault that we're in this economic situation. That it's their fault that we're in this social landscape of disgusting discord. That it's their fault that this political system is in complete and utter shambles. And that's why I'm saying, everybody within the sound of my voice, anybody who's under the age of 45, you need to listen, and you need to listen good. These people that are over the age of 55 years of age or older, they think that they are entitled to so much. They should be entitled to nothing. They had ample opportunity to obtain as much assets as they possibly could in an economy that was the greatest of its time in America's terms. Now they've left their descendants. They've left their children, their children's children, their children's 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 deficits that they're going to have to pay because of their gluttonous, ungrateful asses. And now they're old pieces of, windbag diaper changing, adult diaper wearing pieces of garbage, and all of a sudden we're supposed to care. We're supposed to be like, Well, screw you, all right? Screw you. And let me tell you something, this goes out to everybody who's under the age of 45. It's time for you to start raising up and start realizing that you can't just allow these damn mooching-ass, baby boomer-ass clowns to suck the emotion out of you. All right? You can't let them do it. And they're going to do it, too. Believe me, they're going to do it. It's disgusting, man. Anyway, I can't believe I read this stupid article. More than half of the baby boomer moms actually have grown children that they claim that they're taking care of. I mean, it just Jesus Christ. If they actually took care of them when they were growing up, they wouldn't be in that situation. If they actually taught them what this life was about, if they actually taught them that, hey, you got to stack your chips, you got to go out there and invest, they wouldn't be in this situation. They're baby boomers. And yet these baby boomers have no shame whatsoever. They're old windbag pieces of garbage that have no shame that they have sold out their children, their children's children, and countless other generations beyond that. They have no shame whatsoever. So that's why whenever I see some dumbass old piece of garbage complaining, my Social Security, my Medicaid, my Medicare, screw you, you old piece of garbage. All right, you had an ample enough time to accumulate enough assets to sustain your old prostate-infected ass. All right? And that's all there is to it. You know it, and I know it. Anyway, we got 7 minutes left in the broadcast. I also want to talk about, how I can't find a goddamn decent dinner roll out here anymore. I used to love dinner rolls back in the day. I still love a good dinner roll. I can't find a good dinner roll to save my ass out here. All right? I mean, they all taste like just disgusting garbage. All right? I mean, I remember when, dinner rolls used to be flaky and fluffy and good tasting. They didn't taste like cardboard radiated crap. You understand? They didn't taste like, some foreign, French, product or something. You understand what I'm talking about? I mean, I just want a decent freaking dinner roll, and I can't find it. Whether it's, trying to find a decent recipe, or whether it's actually finding go to the store and looking for a decent damn dinner roll. I can't find it, and it makes me sick. All right? It makes me sick to my stomach that I can't find a goddamn decent dinner roll, for Christ's sake. A small little flaky, a dinner roll that just kind of, peels off the softness. It's fluffy, it's beautiful. It rises beautifully. I can't find a decent dinner roll. They taste like garbage. So if anybody knows of a decent dinner roll or a dinner roll recipe or anything of that nature, can you please send it to me? All right? My Twitter name is Ghost Politics. All right, all one word, no underscores. Ghost Politics is the name to follow. All right? I mean, I just want a decent dinner roll. You know what I'm saying? I just want a roll that tastes good with butter. Every roll that I've tasted, every roll that I've tried off the shelf out here has been an utter disgusting piece of cardboard. And if it's not an utter disgusting piece of cardboard, they have loaded up so much yeast in that damn roll, I could probably shit out a whole loaf of bread once I sit on the toilet after this crap. I'm not joking. All right? I mean, the yeast of it is just, it tastes overbearing. It's disgusting. I just want a decent freaking dinner roll. Anyway, that's enough. We got 4 minutes left of the broadcast. Anyway, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. This was the 67th edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Please add to your favorites. blogtalkradio.com/ghost is the official web page of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. Secondly, I would like everybody to please follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Ghost Politics is the name to follow. All one word, no underscores, please. Ghost Politics, and send me a tweet, for Christ's sake. Not to mention, whenever I have a good tweet going on, why don't you retweet that tweet? Jesus Christ, I sound like Tweety Bird's stepchild or something. But seriously, go out there and retweet the tweets that yours truly is putting out there. And not to mention, I think that we should bombard tweet people. You know what I mean? That should be, one of our next missions is, the whole True Capitalist Radio show in general. We should just bombard, a target with tweets that, are true capitalists in nature, and insulting too, that sort of thing. But we'll talk about that later. Not to mention, folks, I want you to put it on your calendars. I have made the decision this Wednesday I will consume or expose myself to the tetrahydrocannabinol that was given to me in the bathrooms and in East 6th Street Bar. This Wednesday, I will be exposing myself to tetrahydrocannabinol. Now, I'm going to be a little apprehensive about this because what's unfortunate is that you're not supposed to smoke indoors in Austin, Texas. And I'm in an office building here. So I've done some considerable research, and I've got myself some kind of smoking device. But at the same time, I have got myself a device where I can blow the smoke into so that supposedly it won't smell like smoke. It'll smell like, air freshener, so to speak. So, lo and behold, that's what's going to be happening, 4/20. I hope you're celebrating it with me. I'm here Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So please let everybody know that we're in effect in the house every Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. Spread the word, man, because I depend on the word of the people to spread the word about True Capitalist Radio Show. And let everybody know about it, baby. Let everybody know. Spread it around like wildfire. Not to mention, folks, I'd like for everybody to please join the only social network for capitalists, exclusively for capitalists. And I'm talking about www.telegram.com/ghost. www.capitalistarmy.com. That's www.capitalistarmy.com. All right, go out there and join the social network exclusively for capitalists. Anyway, folks, I am out of here. I am going to be back tomorrow, Tuesday, and then Wednesday is 420, baby. Woo, man, that's what I'm talking about. I'm kind of a little nervous about it, but oh well, we'll get over it, right? Anyway, folks, spread the word. All right. All right, spread the word, and not to mention, follow me on Twitter, man. Follow me on Twitter. Ghost Politics is the name. Anyway, I'm out of here. Long live capitalism. Thank you for tuning in with me, baby. Until tomorrow, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, every Monday through Friday. This is True Capitalist Radio. This is Ghost, and I'm signing off, baby. Woo!
You've been listening to True Capitalist Radio. The thoughts, views, ideas, comments, and opinions of the host of this show are absolutely his. Catch more live episodes Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30 Central, or check out archive shows at blogtalkradio.com. True Capitalist Radio.
That's it.
A Napa guy knows the only way you'd give a freshly minted driver a brand new car is if he promises to never drive it. Instead, let him grind the gears and knock over the neighbor's mailbox in something a little more suited to his skill level. And with over 400,000 parts and a little Napa know-how, he can safely drive something that's nearly as old as he is. It's not perfect, but it's perfect for him. That's Napa know-how.